All right. All right. And we're live. What's going on? What's going on, Chris?
Just got off work, bud. Excited to be here.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Hey, not a problem. Um, so what's going on, man? How you been?
Good, man. Getting old, man. My daughter, she just turned 10 years old. My youngest turned 10, so I'm getting old. My teenager's coming out, so
Oh yeah?
yeah, you should start seeing gray hairs here pretty soon.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Oh man. So the week in nerddom. So what you been up to? Let me just ask this before we get on all into the fun stuff, the crazy shit. Let's ask a little bit about you. What have you been up to since the last time we talked?
Let's see. Working. I pulled out my bow, so I'm gonna try to start getting ready for bow season for elk and deer.
Nice.
Uh, Shit, man, that's it. Watching a lot of Criminal Minds. If you want some crazy dreams, watch about 4 episodes of Criminal Minds right before you go to bed.
No shit.
Then you'll have some crazy ass dreams.
My daughter's really gotten into that show. She's I don't know if you remember the one that was doing she was doing the visual effects like with the makeup and stuff. I don't know if
Yeah,
she was okay, yeah. She's into she wants to become a forensic scientist. So she's really into the to that show in particular. The CSIs I think she's dipped into a little bit, but the Criminal Minds she's really into.
yeah, interesting stuff, man. It'll mess up your dreams if you want.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that shit just going back and forth. I mean, a lot of that stuff. I mean, just watching the little bit that she does, or the little bit that I see, like when she's watching it downstairs and stuff. That shit's how they come up with that stuff every week. It's just like it's weird, man. It's
I
it,
think they
it takes
went.
true talent.
I think they went for like 13, 14 seasons.
Ooh,
It was ridiculous, and
was
none of the episodes were the same. So
right, and that's the thing. And I don't know. You have to appreciate stuff like that, man. And especially in today's world where there's so much reboot, there's so much rehash, there's so much everything that you're just like, really, again, this is what you're putting out. It would be different if we could count on maybe an improvement or a modernization, a good modernization of what has come in the past, but that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing watered down bullshit versions of stuff that we actually like. And now it's like, oh, now you just tarnished the franchise that we actually like, and that's fantastic.
ah, hey, don't we have an example of that coming up?
We do. We do, yes. Oh, my lighting's all messed up because here in the bunker, because I'm probably going to go till after dark. I have my lights on already, but I get the outside light, and my wife just came through, and so the damn lights on up here. There's just too much light in this damn thing. I look
We'll
all,
be all right.
it's all. Now,
I
see,
got
last
two lights
time
right there. Boom, boom.
you were all dark, and now I'm all Casper, so it's all
Dude,
good.
you always look like Casper, so we won't go there.
Dude, I got my tan going on. I don't know what you
You got
don't.
a better tan than I do. Look, I work at
all,
home indoors.
yeah, dude, but all you got to do is think about it hard, and you'll start getting a tan.
I'm not known for that.
Hmm.
My brother got, I got the looks, the height, and the intelligence, and my brother got the skin
You got
tone.
you got the what now?
I got the look, the height, and my brother got the skin tone. So my
Yeah,
brother's as dark as this bottle right here.
no shit. And
Came
you're the
from the
redheaded
same mom.
Mexican.
Supposedly we came from the same mom. I don't know, man. I still think I'm adopted.
Well, you're a redheaded Mexican, dude. What are you gonna do? I
Right?
mean,
Where did it come from?
there's a redneck in your woodpile somewhere, dude. It's just like what can you do? You're gonna burn. That's all it is. You're gonna go
Well,
outside.
we
You're gonna burn.
we went over my redneck heritage last time.
We did, yeah. We
Yeah.
sure
And you
did.
know why? You know why you can't ever solve a redneck crime, right?
You told that joke, yeah.
Did I tell the joke?
You
Yeah.
did.
All
Because
right.
there's no branches in the family tree, man. The DNA is all the same.
Pretty much. And there's no teeth.
Oh, light just went out. Nice. Now I'm all blue. Okay, cool. Oh man, what a week, dude.
It's been a week.
It has been a week from literally from last Monday, just running, trying to get back up with the podcast and do all kinds of stuff. I don't know if you heard, but I was actually I joined a podcasting group called Red 5 Network. So it's a bunch of guys and girls that talking about geek stuff and nerd stuff and different IPs and Star Wars and all over the place with Harry Potter, Indiana Jones, all kinds of stuff. So it's a big group of podcasters, and
Yep.
yeah, so I was welcomed
What's
into that
up?
group, which is pretty cool. So this will be part of. I think this will be the first episode that'll have all the bells and whistles with the new. They have a good intro and an outro and all kinds of stuff that they're just like, here,
Oh,
use
are
this. So
you picked the wrong first guest, bro. This space ain't gonna get you people. Well, I mean, it might.
nah, okay. So the thing, to your point, like we were talking about prior to the show, to catch everybody up, the judging book by its cover is it's the theme, as far as like what I'm doing here, whether it's being a veteran or a conservative or shit, even a liberal. When you look across the way and you see somebody or you hear what they're writing or anything like that, you get an impression. If you see somebody in a t-shirt, if you see somebody dressed a certain way, it's called stereotyping. Right, like the Trump flag. Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're stereotyping, right? So automatically people can assume any number of things about you based off of what's occurred in the last 4 years. Now, how much of that is actually true? That's what people don't have the time for. They don't have the time to actually get down into the weeds and actually get to know somebody. It's all superficial, and they're just like, they're
Yep.
all just talking up here.
And their opinions are always right.
Oh yeah,
You can't rebuttal their opinions or their ideas because they're right.
and 99.9% of the time they're mad at your opinion.
Yeah, and
It's
they
like,
saw
wait.
it. Their opinion is verified by something they saw on Twitter, or Reddit, or Facebook, and it's a cousin of an uncle of an aunt, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just you can't tell nothing, man. I give up.
Yeah, I know it. You're not gonna please everybody. Let me do this. I can't see nothing. Okay, my stuff's all twanked. I know, man. It's difficult to even have a conversation where, even if you disagree, to sit down and do it civilly. And I'm not talking about politics or anything hot button topic. I'm talking even
Anything.
goofy shit. Yeah, just goofy shit. It just look like we were talking about before, or I gave you a heads up. So basically, where we're at now is that Indiana Jones 5, okay, has just started filming in England, and some pictures had come out regarding set leaks and stuff like that. And a lot of
Yeah,
the pictures were showing, Indy was in his fedora, he was in costume, all kinds of other stuff. And
old ass Harrison Ford.
right, and what you see from the photos is you see how old he looks in the photos. And there was a guy, Matt Kadish, who is a podcaster from the Salty Nerd podcast. He made a quip, and the guy is their whole podcast is based off of reviewing movies. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know what his credentials are, but the dude, he knows his stuff. Now, based off that, he also has his opinion. And who am I to, belittle anybody's opinion? Hey, dude, you feel that way, fine, and just move on. However, he made a point based off of the fact that Kathleen Kennedy was still producing it, and that Lucas and Spielberg were out, and that the guy who wrote Solo was writing this movie. And so it's like it was just a recipe for disaster as far as
Oh, yeah.
Kadish was concerned. And so he puts that tweet out there, whatever. And wouldn't you know, you gotta love Twitter, dude. The damn director, James Mangold himself, comes back and starts going after Kadish. Now, okay, to his point, there's not a whole lot what Mangold was saying was that there's not a whole lot known, and
Yeah.
you're making an assumption this is going to be shitty based off of very little information. Okay. Then he proceeds to go into full meltdown, but the point he's missing is the fact that the legitimacy of the concerns Matt is raising. Then you take Mangold's response, and I'm thinking to myself, I think somebody's under a lot of pressure to get the Indiana Jones right. And with George and Steve not being around no more, dude's a little stressed. And he decided to shit the wall all over Matt Kadish and the Salty Nerd podcast. He was going after their set. He was going after Matt's home. He podcast from his damn dining room table, dude. And dude was all over that. And it was like, these are people who pay for your shit, dude.
Yeah, he was talking about, go back to ratting in your mom's basement or something. Like, he was going off. And then it went on, like, because one of the people that retweeted it followed Trump or said something about Trump, and then he went off there on this whole tirade of Donald Trump, who's not even in office anymore.
No.
What are you mad about, bro? Like,
dude,
very unprofessional. I'm not gonna go watch Indiana Jones. First of all, Solo stuff, and second of all, Harrison Ford. I don't know, man. You can't get on board. They're gonna try to make him look younger. You saw the doc.
Yeah,
they're gonna try to make him look younger. It's supposed to be called what, like Evil Empire or something? Indiana Jones and the Evil Empire, which he says that's not the title.
Well, the photo that came out, it's a Lucasfilm production, and the supposed snapshot of the logo shows Disney's name over it instead of Lucasfilm.
Did you not see it? It looks legit. It says somebody's talking, so it's like their whole body, well, half of their body, and on the back screen it says India or Disney on top, and then Indiana Jones and the Evil Empire or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's not going to be their name.
I mean, they're going back. Excuse me, they're involving the Nazis again and all that stuff too. So it's like, well, what friggin' year is this? Because I think the last one was in the 50s, and then so
with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Actually,
no, that one was
Skull or something.
That was in the 40s because they were testing the nuclear bomb. That's what it was, or they were testing a nuclear bomb, so it was like in the 40s or 50s or some shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that one was pretty bad too.
That one was pretty awful. There were a lot of the nostalgia of it. What I loved about it was there were some points where I was like, "Oh, that's quintessential Indiana Jones, dude. That's what we're here for." And then there were other aspects of it that I was just like, I can't get past the fact that you're literally swinging through the trees with a bunch of monkeys right now. Like I don't know. It just took me out of it. There was too much shit to take me out of it. And then, of course, the very ending when the thing takes off, it's just like, what the fuck? I don't know. Now, was it fun? Standalone by itself, if it wasn't an Indiana Jones property, it would have been just fine.
If you didn't have that nostalgia, I don't think it would have went to where it went. It would have got the exposure that it got. If it was a standalone movie, I would not have done anything.
No.
And that's exactly the point you were getting at. If you're looking at history from what was his name? Matt?
Yeah.
What Matt was pointing out. This new Indiana Jones is probably not going to be good.
I don't know, man. So, I don't as of right now, and to both of their points, both Mangold's and Matt Kadish's, to their points, not a whole lot is known. Okay? So Mangold's saying there's not a whole lot known, so how can you have an opinion? And yet to Kadish's point, based off of what little I've already known, I already have an opinion. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
it gets down to the fact that Mangold didn't like the opinion that was being talked about, and he decided to spew all over it. And I think his little tirade totally shows the dude's under an extreme amount of pressure, as well as you could probably imagine every director since 2012 that's worked for Disney that hasn't been George Lucas. They all shit their pants when they're being given a job to helm a Star Wars thing. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, and now with Indiana Jones, there is no creative executive producer from the previous movies even involved in this one. All you have is Kathleen Kennedy as a logistics producer. So yeah, she can get a big movie made, but is she a creative talent? I think she's proven she's not. And when she pushes in a direction creatively, it turns to shit. So I don't know exactly from that standpoint in and of itself, and the fact that George and Steve walked away, Spielberg and Lucas walked away, it's not looking good. And
Why
so
did they walk away?
I think the line Spielberg gave was that he could spend more time on his West Side Story musical that he's working on. So, take that for what it's worth. And then of course Lucas is just, I don't think he's involved at all with anything. He wouldn't have been involved with this to begin with because he's out of Lucasfilm. So I think that would have been a pipe dream anyways. But the fact that Spielberg walked away, that was our first indication before we even saw any pictures or even, a hint that Harrison Ford was looking his age. You know what I'm saying? Before we even knew any of that, hearing the fact that who the writer was and the fact that Steven Spielberg walked away, people were like, oh shit. Why? Because Lucasfilm has a history of doing this shit. Look what they did with the Star Wars films. They fired what? Both directors who were originally hired to direct Rogue One and Solo. Both of those directors were fired, and then somebody else was brought in to fix their shit. And then you look at the third movie of the trilogy, where Colin, what is his name? Trevorrow, I can't say his last name. He was originally slated to direct the third movie, and then he ended up leaving like, nope, creative differences, and then JJ comes back to direct that last movie. So it's like there is creative strife going on at Lucasfilm, and yet there are signs of hope, because when creative control is relinquished down to, let's say, a Jon Favreau or a Dave Filoni, you get The Mandalorian, which helped bring back fans that Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm had done their best to push away. And so, I don't know. I don't know what the right equation is. I do know that having Kathleen Kennedy in the mix sours, having her deeply involved in the creative aspects of it, I think at this point in time, she's toxic to a certain set of fans.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be
The
interesting.
diehard fans that have been invested and have history with this
because she's in charge.
franchise. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so ultimately the buck stops with her. And so everyone can go, oh, Filoni this and Favreau that, or even shit, go after Mangold or whatever have you. But the buck stops with Kathy. So if she's wanting them to produce shit, they're going to produce shit because that's what the boss wants. But when you get somebody who comes in, and I don't know all the stories behind all the players, so I can't really make a blanket statement. But when you have somebody come in to replace someone else, okay, first of all, it's already a shitty situation. It may be a death in the family. It may be legitimate. It may be any number of things. But when you have a replacement come in like in production or like as things are ramping up, I think ultimately what it does is it gives potential fans pause at the very least. Like, oh, okay. So I don't.
Yeah.
But I don't know, dude. I don't think that there's any reason ever that a creative in any way, shape, or form should go after the people who are paying for their content. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Not in the manner this guy went about it.
No, I mean, not at all.
Trying to be a little professional.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, thanks for your opinion. We'll take that into consideration. I hope you enjoy the movie or enjoy the final product. You know what I'm saying?
Or hey, wait and see, or something kind of funny, kind of levity or something. Throw a little. Hey, we're working on some pretty cool things. I hope I don't know.
But
It could have been handled differently.
yeah, exactly. To throw a tantrum like a child and just
Yeah.
start. He might as well have just said, "Your mom does this."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was
Oh yeah.
like almost grade school ish, like just going off on everything. Not even relevant to the
No,
criticism.
I know. Well, and that's what happens is that they've had an emotional response because someone hurt their fifis, and so now it's all attack mode because the fragile ego and all that shit is now I have to. You've wounded me, so now I have to hurt you. And he's going after the set and going after the studio and go. Oops, sorry, I moved my table.
It, it was
There was
that.
no earthquake in the in Colorado.
No, that was just your man hammer, huh? That hit that thing,
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, getting strong,
swinging
dude.
and banging.
No, yeah. I mean, we were talking a little bit. Well, that I don't know. I'm getting a
All
red
right,
line over here.
one of the
No, one of
rabbits
my
out.
it's showing. Nah, it's showing my mic was very. I was being very loud. I don't know. This shit, dude. I have good days and bad days with the tech, and sometimes it just doesn't want to. It just doesn't want to play with me. But or play well with others, I should say. But yeah, dude. So with that, so Mangold goes off, right? And he's talking about, and this is the thing that totally, I don't. The To your point, the manner in which he went about it, okay, has got to be one of the funniest displays of dumbassery in recent weeks, in recent months. Because I mean, we could have always counted on Ryan Johnson to do that shit. Because he came out and everybody started saying shit, and it was just fucked up from the word go because that dude was just laying into people. And then you had other creatives doing the exact same thing. The people who aren't actually doing anything, they're just behind the scenes, like, I don't know, whatever the fuck they're doing. But you have them on Twitter or on any social media talking their shit. And it's just like Lucasfilm isn't getting a handle on all that stuff. And they're just allowing that shit to occur. They're allowing their Lucasfilm employees to continue shitting on the actual people who fucking built their empire. If it wasn't for us and our money, you people wouldn't have fucking jobs 40 years later. And you wouldn't be doing fucking Star Wars right now.
Yep.
Or Indiana Jones 5 or any number of fucking things. We built this empire. We rewarded you for giving us entertainment. If you stop giving us entertainment, we're going to stop rewarding you with money. And that's, I think, where a lot of these creatives are forgetting is that we're not talking about someone who's not monetized. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar corporation. And that shit is not taken lightly. So
Nope.
why are you going after the people who built your fucking Disneyland, who built your Disney World? Why are you doing that? And that's ultimately what it comes down to, is that these people don't have, they're so disconnected. Hollywood actually hates us. They hate the movies that we love. The only reason Hollywood makes movies like Indiana Jones 5 or Star Wars or anything like that is so they can fucking afford their bullshit little artsy fucking Oscar films that they show to their little weird ass fucking friends down in their fucking basements. That's the shit that they want to make. Oh, the fucking artsy, it's so fantastic. It's like, no one wants to see that shit. That's why they don't make money. No one cares. And it's just like, why the fuck? I understand that there's audiences for that. I get that. But why would this is how I look at it. Why would I, after having a shitty week, want to spend a Friday night going to a movie that is going to make me feel shitty? You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. That was, damn. I'm going for escapism. I'm going to enjoy myself. Now, I'm not opposed to any of that stuff being, well written into the story, but you're going to have to dazzle me and entertain me. not just sit there and fucking talk for 2.5 hours like some of these fucking movies are. They just talk to each other and everyone's crying and it's like, what the fuck is going on? I have no idea. Why do I care? I don't know. I don't get it. So Hollywood hates us. And so when we make fun of the bullshit that they're putting out, whether it's a new Ghostbusters with all chicks or whatever it is, whenever we come after them, we're like, this is fucking trash. And they're like, fuck you. That's what you get. Buy it.
You're
like,
sexist.
Right.
That's
what it comes
down. You
down.
don't like it. Like
sexist, racist, misogynist, any number of damn things. Right. But what that is, that's a lashing out because psychologically they know their shit's fucked up. They know deep down
terrible.
What they put out was an inferior product, but they wanted to be an activist about it, but they know their shit's inferior. So there's an insecurity there. Then when someone points it out, they get all fucking boo-boo face and go snowflake on the whole world.
You know, speaking of Ghostbusters, the movie was so bad, Voodoo gave it to me for free. And I still haven't watched it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, where's Bill Murray? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, totally.
I'm not watching it.
Nah, my daughter, my youngest, she saw it over at a friend's house, and not, of course, I don't involve the kids in all of this stuff. I'll let them be kids and enjoy the films they enjoy right now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But she dug it, and she was all proud because it was the first Blu-ray she owned. It's going to have a place in her heart, and so I don't, like, shit on it right in front of her. She enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're an idiot. Yeah, it's my kid. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So if we treated everybody like how we would potentially treat our kids in a situation like that, like, well, I like blue. Well, I like red. Why are we getting into a fight and going after someone's fucking livelihood or making fun of their house or going after the studio that is the studio they can afford right now? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and to punch down, I think truly shows the absolute breakdown in masculinity and the absolute absence of testosterone in Hollywood.
Man. Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
But that's because they're pandering to all the left wing dudes that are out there wearing fucking pink pussy hats, boycotting or protesting against anything. You know, it's like,
or wearing Alex Rodriguez's makeup. You see that shit?
No. I never liked Alex Rodriguez.
Who was the one that was with J-Lo? Was that Alex Rodriguez?
Alex Rodriguez. Well, who wasn't with J-Lo? Well, let's be honest.
No shit. But you
know
what I'm talking about.
She had like 7 husbands, and J-Lo, if you're watching, I could be number 8. That's Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez, yeah. So A-Rod, right? So she dumps his ass, and he comes out with a makeup line. And then she goes and gets dick in Hawaii or wherever she went. It's like, dude, really? You just let J-Lo walk out the door, and the first thing you do when she leaves is come out with the fucking makeup brand?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
I think we know. I think we know why J-Lo left. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Freaky.
He don't have the A-Rod.
Nah, dude. He's going for an innie. He doesn't want that. You know what I'm saying? He just that shit. It's like, I don't know. I really don't. I don't get it. And what's funny is when you, because I, as you can well imagine, made fun of it. Excuse me. So when after I made fun of it, people coming out of the woodwork. Why are the men wearing make? It's fine. What do you do? No, it's not. How is it fine? Well, actors. You like actors, don't you? Really?
But they do that for visual effects. So, you know what I'm saying? So the light hits a certain way, so they look a certain way.
Right.
They're not wearing it to cover their imperfections.
Or to make them like they're going on a date and they want to bring themselves up a little bit, elevate the look a little bit. That's not what we're doing it for. We're doing it so that the light doesn't shine off your bald ass or any number of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
To even say that, it's just like, look, dude, I don't even know. You can't even. It's not. You can't even have a conversation with some people anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's gotten to that point. And going back to these leaks, now I'm thinking about it. There was little to nothing that Kadish said. I don't think that was the thing that got me about that. Going back to that, every concern he laid out, all four of them, was every
Valid?
concern. Yeah, was every concern that concerned fans had, going back to when Mangold was first announced as director, because Spielberg had wandered off and they had announced Mangold, and everyone was like, wait, huh?" So this is nothing new. So he's been hearing it for a while now. He just got pissed and decided to jump in with some bullshit. And that's the thing too, is that quite obviously he's not. I got to get back to the original. He ended up blocking me on Twitter, by the way.
Who? Mangold?
Mangold. James Mangold, yeah.
Blocked you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Little old 97 Bravo.
Just punching down, dude. Yeah, it's that's fine. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to find
funny.
Yeah, and I was basically going back and forth over the course of like 4 hours with this tool on Twitter because he's some sort of James Mangold stan, talking about, we know nothing about it. How can you be pissed off at it? And literally, it's like, dude, you're not. And so there was a point in time in the conversation where I was like, okay, he's not capable of understanding what I'm saying, which is fine. We're not able to communicate. That's fine. But then, of course, what he didn't realize I was doing was I immediately went into trying to get him to debunk his own bullshit, and wove him around this long ass winded fucking road. And through all that, I made fun of the fact that he's brand new to Twitter and hey, this is how people talk. And, so I did. So I took a screenshot of his shit that said, I have one follower and I joined last month, or I joined last year and I only have one follower. I was like, look, you may be new here, but this is how shit works. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And then no shit, he comes back and says something like I'm stalking him. Then he blocks me. And I'm like, all right, fine. But when I went to his account, the guy gained a follower. Actually, no, before he blocked me, I noticed he gained a follower. So I was like, who the fuck just followed him? Because this is the only conversation this dude's been having for these 4 hours. So I'm like, who the fuck followed him based off of this? So I click on followers.
Mangold.
No, it's him. That stupid motherfucker created a new puppet account to follow the account I just made fun of for only having one fucking follower. Oh, it's so funny. Because the stupid idiot had part of his last name in his @ for Twitter, and I picked up on it, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting, because it was different from his actual name. So I was like, oh, so that I picked up on it. Then when I go, the last name was in his original @ and I was like, what the fuck? So then when I go back, he changed the first @ to something totally different, blocked me, and then fucking changed it. Dude, it was the stupidest fucking shit. So I called him out on it, and I'm like, at least he said something about, he called me a cunt, some bullshit like that, and I said, well, at least I don't have to fucking create a puppet account to gain followers or some shit like that. And then he goes, what, are you stalking me? And he literally had blocked me and then tweeted me from the account that I discovered and said, what are you doing? Stalking me? And I'm like, no, dude, I just got you to fucking tell on yourself. You jackass. Thank you for playing. I'll be here all week. It's like this whole roundabout thing, and this is what happens. He backed up right into exactly where I wanted him to be. That's fine. So
call him out, bro. What was his name? No.
I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction of talking about him.
No, I don't
or actually giving his name on here. I was thinking about throwing his tweets up here, but I'm not giving that shit. Any time of day. He's
block out his redact his username.
Huh. Well, what was funny was I used his first name when I correlated the two. I used his first name when I tweeted back. I said, you're not very good at this, dude. And yeah, he has since disappeared, from what I can tell.
What's up with all the people making these accounts for anonymity, right? Because they're scared to say what they want to say using their own name. Like,
talking about me?
No, why? Is that what you do? As far as I can tell, you have one name throughout everything.
Oh, I see.
You don't have your main account and then one troll account. You know what I'm saying?
The puppet accounts. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I know people who do, but no, I don't.
But it's like,
well, I know people who
say what you want to say.
Well, see, this is the thing: is that I know people who have accounts because they've been blocked. So they've been giving people shit. The people they've been giving shit to have blocked them. And so they then create another account so they can still view, because those people still continue to talk shit about them. This is why this person started talking shit about them. So this is this whole thing. Like, they want to continue to talk shit, but they want to do it behind a block wall. And so people that I know are creating puppet accounts so that they can then follow what these people are saying.
How many?
There's that shit. But to your point, there are people who go out there that do exactly what you're saying.
Just want to troll.
Uh-huh.
How many false accounts do you think 45 has?
Oh, well,
you think he made one? Like Ronald Stump?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these popular ones are actually him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but well,
I don't know.
That shit pisses me off too. When you permanently ban somebody from a public platform,
so weird.
And then you want to say, "Oh, we deserve freedom of speech." Well, you obviously aren't giving this dude freedom of speech. Like,
they don't want to be treated like editors. They don't want to be held responsible for the shit that comes off their social media. That's why 230, the Section 230, is even there, is to take social media and say it's a public square. So that way Twitter and YouTube and Facebook can't get sued for some shit that you or me say. But the line they crossed is when they started telling people in the public square, you can't say that. So when they started editing their shit, they stopped being a 230 and they became a publisher. And once that happened, all their protection should have gone away.
It should have. Like, make up your mind. You can't just cherry pick what you want people to say.
No.
Like,
that's the whole point of Twitter and social media, is for people, my belief anyways, for people to express themselves and be in a safe area where they can express themselves within reason and within social norms. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I don't have to list a whole bunch of shit you shouldn't do on Twitter. You should kind of already know that as a fucking adult. You know what I'm saying?
But they don't, because you see these things like where are these image boards, like well, it used to be Reddit, but like the ones Q used to post on, things like that all these 4chan. Nazis were doing, 4chan and 8chan, and so there's got to be a limit, but don't expect to be let off on things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It just upsets me. You're going to ban our president. That's fine. What about old terrorist dude from Iran who hates speech all the time on America?
The Supreme Ayatollah?
Oh, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah. Ayatollah Khomeini.
I don't even know his name. He ain't worth my brain power.
Calling for the death of, the destruction of Israel and death of the Jews and all that shit. Not to mention Louis Farrakhan, who is quite obviously anti-Semitic all over social media, and not a damn thing's done with him. Yeah, it's absolutely hysterical. Oh, and don't forget our dear friend Hunter Biden using the N-word. And of course, no one gives a shit about that. Smoking Parmesan cheese, and his dad gets fucking elected. His son had an affair with his brother's widowed wife, and then while he was having that affair, tried to hook up with her sister. The fuck is going on with that dude? You know what I'm saying?
Let's not forget about the laptop. He was like strung out on meth or something. So
totally.
Like, bro.
And the inappropriate pictures of I'm just talking about the stuff that like the sensational shit that most people would talk about. It's just like, but that wasn't even a hiccup. No one wanted to talk about it. And it was like, what is going on? And it just totally disappears. But someone wants to talk about some meme that some actress makes that has no direct correlation to what they think it does, because she's pushing a different, she thought it meant something else. She gets shit canned, but her co-star can call half the nation Nazis and no one fucking blinks.
We're talking about old Star Wars again?
Yeah. Pedro and Gina.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just it goes back to everything. You know what I mean? It is this constant disrespect, this constant, like I said before, the vast majority of Hollywood bigwigs and creatives hate the average movie viewer because we don't want to see their bullshit. We don't want to see their artsy fartsy crap that they want to show their friends and look how much of an auteur I am and director, and no, shut the fuck up. No one wants to see that shit. Our lives are hard down here.
Entertain me, monkey. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Not like that. Not like monkey in a racist way, but like monkey in a circus kind of way. Entertain me.
Exactly.
Let me clear that out because,
dude, it's just a circus with a bunch of clowns, dude. That's all it is. And the clowns just move from ring to ring, and it's like, okay, now we're talking about this, but we're not going to be talking about what's going on in the other two rings right now. Just pay attention to what's right here. All the while, all that other bullshit is going on in the background. It's like, you don't think we're paying attention? And you don't think that we're going to vote with our wallet? You don't think that the subsequent films... I mean, when you have a movie that makes $2 billion like The Force Awakens, and the subsequent movies after that, you would think, as an individual, as a company, whatever have you, that if I'm producing something that, even though I think it's a good product or it's a satisfactory product at the very least, and you put it out there and no one buys it, and then not only that, or not no one buys it, but less people buy it than you thought were going to, and then not only that, now you have a whole group of people you weren't expecting that are now talking shit about your product. So now it's not making the money you thought it was going to, and you have a brand new group of people who are now attacking you for producing a shitty product, which is new to our culture. This isn't something that we did 15, 20 years ago. Talking directly to a Kathleen Kennedy or someone else who has Twitter like, your movie fucking sucked, yo. Knock that shit off. You're talking to them. Nowhere else in history has that shit happened where we've been able to communicate directly with our entertainers and tell them precisely what we think. LeBron, you're a big fucking wet pussy. You need to take your drippy ass the fuck off the court and go hide the fuck in China with your embarrassing...
Did you see what he did? He took himself off the court when they were losing.
Yeah.
Like 8 minutes left in the game. He took, because, like, hey, bro, yeah, I like what you're doing, opening all these schools and whatnot, but as an athlete and a role model, you suck.
He does.
Could be the
Very much
pussy.
so.
And you think this kind of platform would lend to the betterment of a franchise like Star Wars and Indiana Jones? would make athletes think, you know, that they're, hey, I got a voice. Let me use it for the right reason. Or let me provide a better product. Let me take my fans' opinions into consideration and not put out this shitty ass fucking product. Nah.
Or maybe give it a moment of pause and say, hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Instead of what's ended up happening is they have this whole gatekeeper fucking mentality. Is like, look, we're the ones in charge of making these stories, and you're simply going to like what we put out. Like,
you're making them for me, bro.
Yeah, no shit.
Fuck. You're not making it for yourself, because if we didn't watch these movies, your pocketbook's going to be light.
Mm-hmm. And there are going to be people who are going to see this stuff 15 times, and there's always going to be that. But when you look at the actual numbers and you look at projections, I don't know, man. And Indiana Jones 4 was a disappointment. It made money in the theaters, and everybody points to that. But it's like, was it a good movie? And
that's because people like me, I mean, I'm fairly young, 30, 34, going on 35, but I wasn't able to watch any of the Indiana Jones in the movie theaters. So
Really?
that first experience with, the what was it, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, or whatever the hell it was called. I just call it the Shia LaBeouf movie. That was a, hey, let me get in on this and see. I love the other movies. I want that experience. And then you disappoint me.
Yeah, and not disappoint me. It was just like it was like it was a parody of a Indiana Jones movie without actually being an Indiana Jones movie. I don't know. You know what it reminded me? It actually reminded me of all the parodies that were done after Star Wars came out. Hardware Wars and all that bullshit, all the different skits people did, Remember that? That's what it reminded me of. It was like it was a facsimile of what it was supposed to be. And I don't know, are we supposed to be laughing at it? I mean, it was like weird in the theaters. I don't know.
So I'm not going to go watch Indiana Jones and the Evil Empire. And I hope that a lot of people rethink going to watch it. Go watch it in a group where one person paid for it, so they're not getting all that money, and they're just getting one payment.
There you go.
I'm not saying pirate it, but I mean,
open that side door so they can walk in from the parking lot.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't give these dudes that money, especially if they're going to treat their fans like this.
Yeah, it just and that's the thing too, is that there are different different groups within like any fandom, as you can well imagine, but there is a push for more respect. It's like it's quite obvious that Hollywood hates the people who are paying their salaries. And
Hollywood hates anybody who is even just a slight bit right to their left, and not even like in the middle. Like, if you're not extreme left, you're just right of left, they don't like you.
No, and that's made quite clear. They try to make those lives of those individuals they've deemed conservative, or you're one of them, or any number of things. They
I honestly
think they disappear in Hollywood. No more projects.
Imagine if voting history was a public record. Like, we can see who Angelina Jolie, who Alex Rodriguez, who anybody voted for. How many of them do you think actually voted for Bernie Sanders or Hunter Biden, or not Hunter Biden? What is? I'm having a Biden moment right now. Joe Biden.
Right.
How many of them you really think voted for Joe Biden? They're just out there pandering to the left.
I'll tell you right now, it was no damn 80 million people. I mean, I don't care who you are. You can't tell me that Joe, I'm on my deathbed, Biden got more votes than Obama both elections. He got more votes than Obama in both. Even the first one, the historical first potential black president, Joe beat him as far as turnout. Really?
Either Donald Trump is severely hated that bad, which he may be. Some people may hate him, but there's no way this dude's got all those votes.
No. I don't see the information that's out there now, and the timeline and the sequence of events and those kinds of things, because I was watching it, millions of people were watching it live that night. But
I cried. Oh my God.
Well, there was that point in time, 9:30, something like that. I was still watching it. My wife was upstairs with the kids, and I didn't know. I was re-listening to podcasts actually before tonight, and I was listening to the one that I did right after the election. And what I noticed was that I had noticed something, but I didn't know what I had noticed. And then all of a sudden, like about a half hour later, it clicked. The fucking states stopped reporting. Massachusetts, Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, all the crazy, Pennsylvania, all the ones that were an issue, they all stopped fucking voting or stopped counting. I was like, wait a minute. There were no returns, and all this stuff was coming in, whatever have you. And then before California's polls had even closed, they had already given Arizona or some bullshit to Joe Biden. And so it's like, why even vote? We're still in line in Arizona, and you're telling us the state's already gone to Biden. Why should I even vote for Trump now? There was so much shit that happened that night. And then when they came back, and there were those tens of thousands, if not, and it's like all these votes all of a sudden show up, and the vast majority of them are for Joe. I'm gonna have I have an issue here.
Joe Biden won because of the coronavirus and them being able to manipulate a pandemic to where they can have these absentee ballots and these mail-in ballots.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be naive to think that with so much on the line, somebody's not meddling in the system. Right. There's no country in the world that has a complete, ethical, 100% accurate election.
I know.
And it's like, wake up, people. Come on.
The thing that gets me is we've been talking about this for so long. Okay, we've been spending a lot of the last couple decades talking about the possibility of weird shit going on in the country, right? But we've always been under the impression, or at least we've been told, that it wasn't wide scale enough to really swing an election. That's why no one's been paying attention to it. But for some reason, myself included, we just bought that shit. We knew it was going on, but we just were like, fuck it, it doesn't really matter, and our guy won, or whatever it is, and let's move on. With this last one, though, there was so much shady shit going on at every level, almost in every single one of these problem states, that when you look back and you look at like what Pennsylvania and Massachusetts and Michigan did in the lead up to the election, where they were changing procedural things outside of the state legislature, so that they were changing election rules outside of state legislature, in Georgia, for example, where that's illegal. And now all these mail-in ballots went out, or times for voting, like for just this election, we're going to change shit. And it only benefited one side. That's the thing that people are pissed off at. Then when you have, I forget her name, but you had those Rudy Giuliani and that chick right after the election talking about release the Kraken and we got the evidence and all kinds of other stuff, only to then have Pence not, or what did he ended up certifying the election as is, instead of saying, no, we need a recount, and actually stopping it on January 6th. And as soon as that happened, it was like...
And that's why I hope Trump comes back in 2024 with the governor of Florida. What the hell is his name anyway?
DeSantis.
With him. Yeah. And just... he started draining the swamp, but I hope that swamp goes through a damn drought. Because we need a fresh house and a fresh Senate. The same old ass people that haven't done anything for 50, 60 years are continually getting reelected. To do what? Look at Nancy Pelosi's district. It's only gotten worse.
Maxine Waters. Look at any Democrat's district in California.
Only gotten worse. They're there to make your life better. Whose life are they really making better besides their own?
That's it.
It's
Same
like
thing with the BLM, the BLM founder. And her and her.
How many mansions
houses.
does she have now?
Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Who knows? $30,000 fence she just put up. Yeah, exactly. Dude, the whole thing, all it basically is to create hate and division so that they can get rich while the rest of us get poor.
And we are getting poor, aren't we? Gas here in Colorado is what? Almost $3 a gallon. Yeah, it sounds to you Californians and New Yorkers and things like that. It sounds like I'm bitching, but
dude, it's $3.30 in town.
Almost $3. Is it $3.30?
It's almost $3.30 in town. Yeah, off Woodman.
And it's like that's almost unprecedented here in Colorado.
Oh, yeah. Well, remember, I don't know if you were here yet.
Ken?
05, 06.
No, I wasn't in Colorado yet.
Wait, hold on. Let me think.
I was still dealing with those $6 a gallon prices in California.
No, it was yeah, we had some sort of gas crisis, and I think it was close to $4 or at $4 here. But that was, if I'm not mistaken, Bush was still president, so it was his second term. Wait, I don't know, maybe. Oh, hey.
I think he's talking to me. He said, "Nice shirt." This is my heathen shirt, my motorcycle shirt. Oh no, he's talking to you, Mr. Empire.
No, this is
my bad.
That's his shirt.
Is it? That is a nice shirt. Let me get one of them.
What does it say? Welcome to the Empire. We're not in this for your revolution.
I need some swag.
Dude, Scare Off Scuttlebutt podcast, man. You got to go to, what is it? He's either on TeePublic. I think he's on TeePublic. I don't think he's on Teespring. But yeah, you got to get on Twitter, dude. That's what you got to do. Cause
I thought about it today. I honestly thought about starting on Twitter today. Just because I want to talk shit to everybody, but I'm going to end up banned like Donald Trump.
That's okay.
Because when I go, I go.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that's part of the Twitter transition is, you know, you just don't jump into the deep end and start swinging. You know what I mean? You gotta know who's who and what's going on. Is because there are times where
bro,
I didn't know who this dude was. Oh no, I'm talking about like, if you're just going in there to swing for shit for reactions, that's one thing. But like, I was trying to make a point, and I said, this is like 2017 or something. And I said, and it turns out that dude actually did the visual effects for the movie I was talking about. And I was like, oh, well, shit. I didn't know who he was. He'd no blue check mark, no nothing. We were just chit-chatting. I was like, yeah, but that shit sucked and hit. And he was like, I actually worked on that scene. I was like, oh.
Which movie sucked?
It wasn't Star Wars. What? It was a small thing, dude. Dude, this is 4 years ago now.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember. Fucking 2019.
Fuck no, dude. Nah.
I can't remember life before coronavirus, to be honest with you.
Was there life before coronavirus? I thought I came out just like this.
Came out wearing a mask?
Wearing a mask, full beard, the whole 9 yards.
just scared of people sneezing.
Totally.
Dude, let me...
Oh, so, before we change something, you got to get yourself a mug, too. Don't forget to get yourself the mug. The Welcome to the Empire mug. And then they've got stickers, too. So you got to make sure you get those bad boys. So,
yeah. You see how old I am? I got to lean into the computer to see that stuff?
You'll be fine. You're just 35. You'll be all right. Just wait.
But I'm a Mexican. 40s, I'm a Mexican 35, though. So I'm like 70.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Bro, my dad's like 70-something. He just popped out. Well, he didn't pop out, but he got his girl pregnant. I'm like, Dad, bro, you're going to die before this thing graduates. What's wrong with you? Like, why are you popping out kids at your age? Man. Don't you ever want to retire?
Don't hate the player, dude. Hate the game. He's how old now? Say it again. He's 70?
He's almost 70-something, bro. And I think his youngest, is like 2-3 years old. All right, what the hell's wrong with you, bro?
Just got to lay that seed, dude.
He's just all over the place. Like, he's biblical times, I guess. Just knocking him out to work on his ranch.
Well, just thinking about 20, 25 years, just start getting these invites from all these brothers and sisters you never knew you had.
Yeah, I'm like, what good are you going to do me?
Yeah, no shit. Don't get rich because they'll come out of the woodwork, dude.
No, don't worry. I have no fear of ever getting rich.
Oh, ain't that the damn truth? Nah, dude, this shit, I don't know. I'm just watching Twitter. This stuff is funny. It's still going. There's a lot of hurt feelings. But before we transition, one thing I did want to bring up, which let me get back to my notes here. Get off the stupid Twitter. And
you got a clipboard? Did I see a clipboard? Oh, okay.
It's my tablet. My tablet with an app that looks like a clipboard.
No, my
clipboard's over here. No, my clipboard's over there. You writing with your hands? You fucking Neanderthal?
What are you doing? I haven't used this thing in years. Except for, never mind.
Yeah,
my mom might watch.
Yeah, I know. No shit, huh? Let's see.
I don't do that, Mom.
No, no, no stiff
I don't
stocks
wear
and
makeup either.
no stiff socks in that house. That's for sure. Um, let's see, heavily starched. One thing I did want to bring up, and this is a little, you know, pat on the back for me as well. Um, the as many of you know, I've been involved, not involved. I have volunteered to help StackUp.org raise money for veterans for suicide prevention and PTSD awareness and those kinds of things. And I just found out last week that they had a veteran stream team for Twitch, and so I decided to apply. I had to prove that I was a veteran, as well as I had to show a library of things that I've done, you know, on Twitch and all that stuff. And I found out today that I was accepted to join their veteran stream team, which I thought was actually pretty damn cool. So here
Oh yeah, that
shortly,
is.
here shortly, I'm gonna start playing a lot more during the week, which I need to do anyways. This was kind of my catalyst of both joining the Red 5 network as well as, you know, joining the StackUp.org veteran stream team, was the fact that that's going to help push me and help me stay accountable. You know, I got to do this. I got to get out there. Let me get on Twitch. Let me do some stuff. Let me create some things. It gets me, you know, the juices flowing, and I have other people who are sort of counting on me to pull a little bit of weight, and so it feels kind of good. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice. And so my
Oh yeah.
first stream.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. My
That's
first
pretty
stream should
fantastic,
be,
man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
yeah, I thought it was cool, and yeah, it's I don't know, it'll bring a lot of exposure to through this program. It'll bring a lot of exposure to what I'm doing, obviously outside of StackUp.org, things like this. But for me, just being part and being involved in something like that, that is so that is so, I hold so near and dear to my own heart. I
Mm-hmm.
suffer from a lot of the things that these guys are actually helping people um, deal with, and so I'm helping people like me, and I think that's cool, and it's
Oh
something
yeah.
I can put my hands on. You know, I can see that, yes, I know where this money's going, and you know, things like that, and I don't I don't have questions. I don't feel weird. Like, is this really a charity, or, you know, what's this person doing with the money or whatever? It's straight up. It feels
Like
good to give back. What were you
like
gonna say?
market dimes where only give a dime per dollar that's given.
Mm-hmm.
StackUp's actually doing something with the donation,
Yeah, exactly.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
You
And
don't.
you know, they post stuff all the time about what they're doing with the money and on all of that. And don't get me wrong, I mean, there's incentives for us too on our side, so that, you know, as we raise money and stuff, we're kind of rewarded for helping them raise that much money. And I think those sort of prizes, or you know, whatever you want to call those rewards, are necessary to kind of keep the
The wheels
streamers
greased. Yeah.
right, to keep us motivated and hungry to try to help, you know, raise more money type thing, instead of saying, oh no, I did my $1,000 and now I'm done. No, there's some pretty good rewards that if you get into some of the deeper amounts, man, that, you know. So
Yeah, bro.
there is an incentive on this end, but at the same time, it that's only a perk. You know, it feels much better to actually be actively giving back. So hold on just a second. My buddy over at Scarif Scuttlebutt Podcast is blowing up the chat. Let's see. Let's get.
I can't see him.
You can't see
Did
him?
he say I need some Alex Rodriguez makeup? Because I definitely do. I'm
He's
I'm
on.
I'm shimmering over here. I don't like that.
He's on YouTube. Well, it's humid as all hell today, dude. Hold on just a second. How do I? Here it
Because
goes.
I'm fat.
There you go. Can you see those? Oh, it's not
Yeah,
showing
let's
up.
bring him on. Can we bring him on? See if he wants to come on. I'm just throwing shit out there.
No, yeah, he can come on if you want. Hey, if this is who I think it is over at Scarif Scuttlebutt Podcast, or I don't care who it is over at Scarif, whoever that is, whether it's I'm gonna mess up her name.
Uh-oh. Don't do
Chantel.
it.
Chantel. I think it's Chantel. Yeah,
Chantel
Chantel,
married?
Ro, or Brad. Ask her.
Chantel, you married? You want to be?
Yeah, Chris here's looking for his next ex-wife.
I'm 2 for 2 right now with ex-wife. Trying to make it 3 for 3.
Hey, you know what? Go for that. Go for that trifecta.
I'm trying to get to the J-Lo status where I have like 12 exes.
There you go. Well, that's how you make your money, dude. You know, that's how Kim did it.
That's how they make their money. What you talking about? I ain't making no money.
Oh no shit, but that's how Kim did it, dude. She made a little nudie video. Then Mama got a hold of it.
Ain't nobody want to see this thing nude, by the way.
I'm just saying, dude. Hey, you don't know.
Well, I mean, the dad bods are definitely in.
I'm gonna keep this up because apparently it won't load. It won't load.
I like being under you anyway, bro. It's fine.
Wait.
Mom, if you're watching, that's not what it means.
It's 2021. It's, you know, everyone's gay. Let's see. All
right, it's history. It's Gay Pride Month, or what do they call it? Just Pride Month.
Just Pride.
Have pride in what you do. Don't push your beliefs on me.
Just don't be proud to be white and male or straight. So.
Good thing I'm Mexican.
Yeah, you can get away with it.
Nah, bro. So, all right, I'm gonna go off on a rant here. Went bowling yesterday, right? My daughter wanted to go bowling for her birthday, and we get into a lane, and you know, during COVID times, they have couches, right, set up in a lane, and there was one family per couch area, which is 2 lanes. Right. Well, now everything's 100% again because people are getting vaccinated. So when I reserved the lane, I reserved the couches because they're comfortable as shit. Well, we get there, and they're like, we only have 1 lane available, lane 15. I said, cool, let me get it. There's this other couple there, and they start complaining. I don't know why. They put you with us. We got a whole gang of people come in. I'm like, you can bowl 8 people per lane. Like, I paid just like you paid. So they go up and they start complaining. I look white, so obviously I get removed and put onto the kiddie tables. They're like, well, we're sorry, it's not guaranteed when you submit a reservation that you're gonna get that lane. Well, your website should probably say something about that because there's nothing on your website about that. I paid $156 for 2 hours, 3 people to bowl. It's a little ridiculous if you ask me, because you can bowl for what, $10 a game down here in the ghetto where you can get shot. But
no shit,
you're still saving $100. And I'm like, he's like, well, you know, we're sorry, but that it's just. And then he started giving me party times, and I'm like, yeah, shut up. Like, just because I look white, I got a redheaded daughter, I got a redheaded beard, you're like, fuck this dude, he's got privilege. First of all, I ain't never had privilege with anything. I want them. Where do I get this privilege?
I don't know, man. I hear they might be passing it out at MSNBC or something. I don't know. I've never been there. I couldn't tell you.
What?
Maybe it's CNN.
I should ask Sean King, right? All I gotta do is pretend to be black.
Right. Or what's Rochelle? What was that chick's name? That white chick that pretended to be black. She was actually she was the president of a NAACP chapter or some bullshit. Rachel something, or Rachel Zodell or something like that.
Rachel Maddow. Oh no, she's just a dude.
Yeah. Ricky Maddow. Yeah, dude. No, I don't know. It's like ridiculous.
COVID turned us into pussies. Race turned us into pussies. It's like, when can we get over our feelings and just operate like everybody's a fucking human being?
Well, not only that, when can we admit that we were wrong, or when can we admit that there's a possibility that our opinion may not be the end all be all of what's out there? You know what I mean? That
Never.
I don't know. It's the strange times we find ourselves in, man. That I don't know. I don't get how we continue to converse. I mean, moving forward, the lines in the sand are being drawn to where, like we were talking about before, just the sight of a Trump flag or an American flag. You heard that chick from what was it, New York Times last week? Yeah, talking about the American flag and how it made her nervous. So she didn't like it. Made her uncomfortable seeing so many flags on trucks as she went through Maine or wherever the hell she was. It was like,
isn't that fucking ridiculous?
It is.
Isn't that ridiculous that your own country's flag triggers you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's like, the thing, though, is that they don't, down to its truest sense, down to its truest common denominator, they hate this country. They hate everybody who loves this country. And they want to fundamentally change this country into a form of government that has never worked and will only benefit their party. So it won't even benefit it'll benefit the top people at their party, not even everybody in their party. Correct, because all the white male liberals who are all talking about Black Lives Matter and all that shit, you're just going to get eaten last, or they're going to leave you alive, but you're going to end up being their slaves. And so yes, your life was spared, but now you're their slave, because even though you believe you're not black, or you're not pink, or you're not purple, or you're not whatever they deem to be.
Or you're not gay, or you're not Muslim, or
whatever.
You're not atheist.
Pick anything that is completely arbitrary.
Favorite color isn't blue.
You have a beard, or whatever it is. It's dude, it's the strangest damn thing. But beyond just being strange, what it is, I think strange is the wrong word. Strange is like when it's happening. You're just like,
I think we're beyond fucking strange.
That's what I was getting to, was that, like, as you're in it, you're like, this is weird. As we've moved well beyond that shit, and we're looking back to how our neighbors and friends were talking about COVID and mask. Do we mask? Do we not mask? And Fauci, let's listen. All this stuff was going on, and all of a sudden, all this shit's coming out this week. And every single person that was marginalized and belittled and called a crackhead and a fucking nut and a conspiracy theorist talking about how masks. Do you understand how big they're not understanding how masks work, is my point.
No.
And they're trying to tell me that mask is going to save their lives, and I am in effect wanting to murder them and their family because I'm not wearing a stupid piece of cloth.
Yeah, you're at the very least, what do you call somebody who does assaults on people? Anyway, at the very least, you are a piece of shit for not wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing too. They need to be able to identify you from a distance. That's the difference. And so you get what you get when they start talking about, what was it? So that white dude on the East Coast kills 8 people, and I think 5 or 6 of them were Asian women. And his supposed motivation that he claimed with the cops was to take because of his sexual perversions, was to take that temptation off the streets. And so he ended up killing, he went to massage parlors and stuff and ended up killing, and 5 or 6 of them ended up being Asian. And then all of a sudden, everyone's
stop Asian hate.
Asian hate crimes, anti-Asian hate crimes, right? But at the same time that's going on, they want to marry it with the white dude from the East Coast that killed those folks, okay? And they want to marry the white supremacists and the hate on Asians together. Yet, I can't help but notice, from all the videos I've seen on the New York Post or whatever have you, I'm having a hard time finding the white supremacy in any of these crimes because the perpetrators, not white. The vast majority of what's going on, the vast majority of what we are being told is the problem of white males isn't being perpetrated by white males. Anybody who lives in Chicago can tell you that. Any given weekend, how many people are shot? And then when you look at the statistics,
Hundreds.
Who's shooting who? This is the problem I have. Then when you look at these videos of what's going on in New York and the guy the Jewish dude who had the yarmulke taken off his head and he was beaten to a pulp. All the Jewish and Asian hate crimes that people are filming and are making their way to the net. Someone will correct me because I'm sure I'm wrong. But I have yet to see a white person. Now, I have seen white Karens all day, acting a fool and telling people to put on masks and all kinds of other shit. But as far as a white dude going, like, beating down on somebody or just cracking somebody in the subway because they're black or Asian, I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm saying I'm not seeing videos of it. So it's hard for me to get emotional about that.
I don't think they're called Karens if they are on the left. I think that was Karen different. Is a white. No, I think Karen is a white, right and left person.
You do?
I think that's what it is because everything I see about Karen is people telling them to put on a mask and like, I don't have to fucking put on a mask. It's America. Da, da, da. I never see a Karen, anything labeled Karen, flipping out over somebody not wearing a mask.
I think you may have those two confused, Susan and Karen, because Karen's the one that bitches and complains and wants to see the manager. So Karens are the ones that are telling you how to live your life and how you're living your life incorrectly. So that's the Karens are the ones who are telling us to put on the mask. And I guess the Susans would be the ones that...
There's a Susan now?
Well, the ones who aren't the conservative types or whatever. I don't know. I'm just making up a word. But I think that's what it goes to. The Karens that want to talk to the manager like nothing is ever right. Nothing is, if it's not their way or the highway, then they need to talk to the manager.
All right, that makes sense.
But yeah, I will say, though, that to your point, there is a concerted effort to label non-mask wearers as Nazi, Trump, MAGA wearing, hat wearing. You don't have a mask on, you're a Trumper. And if you do have a mask on, you're a good little citizen.
What is this alt-right bullshit? I never heard of an alt-right until Donald Trump ran for president.
Well, what it is...
And then all of a sudden, anybody that supports him is fucking alt-right.
It's an attempt to marginalize an actual conservative movement that is pulling away from the Republican Party. And so when they say alt-right...
The Tea Party?
Huh?
The Tea Party?
Tea Party-ish, yeah. Basically pulling away from rhinos and those that have come entirely too far towards the middle and get back to actual conservative values, family values, nuclear family, those kinds of things that fiscal responsibility and not automatically knee-jerk voting for trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of new debt because it's the socially accepted thing to be doing right now. It's telling them not just no, but fuck no. The economy was doing just fine before China, and all you fuckers fucked it up. So why don't we go back to the way Trump had it, and this shit will work itself out. Oh, and by the way, to include energy independence, you silly fucks.
Yeah.
They're doing it to themselves, dude. They're doing it to themselves, and they're creating an environment where, I mean, I just said this to somebody online, was that they're very good at creating their next best enemy. And so ultimately what happened, take James Mangold, for example, and that little blow up today, right? He just created people who are now going to they're going to run that thing into the ground, kid. Absolute from now until that movie comes out, they are if they even stop, they are going to be clowning that dude for eternity. I mean,
I'm telling you, if Indiana Jones 5 does not win an Oscar, he failed as a human being and as a director and a writer and the whole team failed if you don't win an Oscar. You better put out a good fucking product.
How about you
Because
just? Well, Oscars. I mean, the movies I tend to like
no,
don't win Oscars anyways.
he needs to win an Oscar.
He needs to bring he needs to bring it, is what he does. He needs to bring it to where honest to God fans are going to see that thing 2 or 3 times in the movie theaters.
Because if you're gonna talk shit, back it up.
And that's the thing, is internet's forever. So he's saying all that shit now, and then when this movie, if it
when
takes
it's a
shit,
fucking flop,
right, when it shits the bed, then everyone's gonna be like, "Hey, James, what's going on? And here's all the receipts and screenshots. What's going on with your fucking movie, dude?"
Remember when you said, none of this matters and that they're talking out of their ass? Well, guess what? They were fucking right, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
This shit sucks, and you
Mm-hmm.
suck. Quit your job.
Just delete yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Shut down your Twitter. Go to McDonald's University. No offense to anybody who went to McDonald's University. And go fucking flip burgers. Because you did not make it in Hollywood. You suck.
It is something that I cannot.
Because I have his IMDb up right now. He has one movie that I like.
Okay, hold on just a second. While you're doing that, why don't you give us? I'm gonna go get one of what you're chewing on right now, and so why don't you give the viewers, a lowdown on the magnificent James Mangold, and his little.
What do you
history.
want me to say, bro?
Just
his IMDb history.
Yeah, just do that real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. So the only movie that he has produced that to me is worth anything is Ford versus Ferrari. He had a couple different executive producer roles in the TV show The Zoo, which I thought was good, but obviously it's not award winning. Logan, I didn't see Logan, and what was that other one? Wolverine Origins. It's fucking terrible. And it's like, dude, you're talking all this shit, but you haven't produced anything yet. Like, come on, bro. Why don't you put down Twitter, put down your phone, and focus on your art? Because right now you're spending energy that can be placed into Indiana Jones 5, which probably has the potential, just because of Harrison Ford and the franchise, to do something to please your fans. Instead, you're sitting here fucking around on Twitter. You had one movie that I like, and I like almost every movie because I'm pretty simple. I'm retarded. And you had one movie, Ford versus Ferrari, and I think that's just because Matt Damon, I think, was in that one, right?
Mm-hmm. And Christian Bale.
And Christian Bale. You had an all-star cast.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else, Logan, I didn't see. Didn't even have want to see, because the X-Men franchise kind of fell off.
Well, I have to say, in his defense, Logan is just ridiculously good.
Was that a good one?
Yeah, that
because
was the one.
Wolverine Origins, fucking
right. That one blew.
It made me cry, and not happy tears. It was
Kevin Smith cry.
Why the fuck did I waste 2.5 hours watching this movie? And then you got a shitty Deadpool. The good thing about Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds came back to actually make the real Deadpool.
Right, and so that's the thing too, is that he's
not Deadpool. What the fuck is his name? Yeah, Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool. Yeah, no, it was embarrassing, dude. It was very bad, and for to his credit, I was extremely pleased after having been disappointed with the Wolverine. I was extremely pleased with Logan. I love that movie.
I'll go watch it.
It basically what it is. It's the X-Men, but as though it was made by like a Chris Nolan. So it's in that you feel it real world kind of thing, instead of latex fucking costumes and dudes shooting tongues out. No, it gets back down to the basics where the mutant aspect of it is almost like an afterthought, and it's really this driven story. He did a fantastic job, as you can tell. I think he did a fantastic job. It's just that I don't have a lot of, like, and what basically what you were saying while I was getting smokes was that I based off of the history of what's come up lately, I don't have a lot of confidence that Lucasfilm can be trusted to bring gold at this point. I mean, they just had this history of just like everything that came out, man. They were just like, perfect. This is great. This is what we want. This is, this is entertaining. And then they just stopped doing that. And when we were pointing it out and where fans were like, what? And this, you're ignoring this story, or you conflated these two characters, or any number of things, to then vomit on the fans and be like, you don't know what you're talking about, or get out of your basement, or any number of fucking things. It absolutely pisses me off every time that happens, dude.
Yeah, put Sentinel's last comment on there on the screen. I like that. I like that. Hey, I think you hit the nail on the head. He could be solid.
Dude, you gotta join Twitter. This cat right here, me and him have fun, dude. You gotta get on Twitter.
I haven't. I'll get on Twitter. I'll start on Twitter. I haven't seen but one, maybe two. I haven't seen Logan yet. Movies that I like of him, or of his, not of him, but of his.
Right.
So I can't say he's a solid director. Not yet. Your opinion, great, but I do agree with you. Him being a moist, a biatch.
Yes.
So I'm glad you said that, and it's not just us here talking to ourselves.
No. You would be surprised, dude, because it is a
Copland. Is that the one with Schwarzenegger? No, not Schwarzenegger. Stallone.
Stallone, yeah. That was I think that wasn't that Mangold's first. I think that was his first big movie.
His first directing credit. Copland,
Yeah.
No, second. You're right. Heavy was his first.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't even heard of Heavy. It sounds like a porno.
And
it did have Stallone. Yeah, Copland was all right.
Copland, I never saw Walk the Line either. I'm not a huge Joaquin fan, and Johnny Cash. That story didn't. No, Johnny Cash. Don't get me wrong. That story's a story. That dude. Shit. You want to get into some stories, but the story they were telling, I don't know. I wasn't interested in it.
Did you see Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker?
Yeah.
Was that not the most terrible movie you've ever seen?
It was pretty fucking horrible. I don't understand. As I'm sitting in the theater, and don't get me wrong, that Joker, that thing came out around my birthday. So I was like, hey, it's always nice when a movie comes out around your birthday, especially if you want to see it. You know what I'm saying? It's a built-in date night. You know what I mean? So I was excited about it. I was like, oh, right on. And as I'm sitting in the theater, kid, I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
This dude was on fucking methamphetamine. And Joaquin Phoenix is a solid actor. He's a good method actor, and but I just don't know where the fuck that was going.
No, I saw him. He's been in a lot of things. He's been in some things that I've liked him in.
Gladiator.
Yeah. That
when he was
good.
The incestual brother. Yep.
That he did he's very powerful actor. He knows.
He plays a good pervert.
Oh, well, there's that too. I think where he started to drift, to your point, where I started to kind of like he kind of went off the rails for me was when he did that one movie it was either the AI or the sex doll where he falls in love with it, and it has the voice of Scarlett Johansson. I don't know.
That wasn't Ex Machina.
No, it's not Ex Machina. That's
Oh, man, how many people have fallen in love with AI? Because Al Pacino did too.
did he?
Yeah,
Al Pacino fell in love with AI.
yeah. It
Oh,
was.
dude, that
What
was
the hell
back
was
in the
that
day
movie?
when Sandra Bullock was doing the net and the internet was all new and shit, and everyone was like, "Fuck, we're gonna die. It's the apocalypse." Yeah, I don't remember De Niro doing one with AI, but I do remember there
Her.
was a rash of her.
That was Al Pacino's.
This Shellback. Okay, so we're getting some good chatters here.
All right,
These
let's get some good
jokers
chatters.
these chatters.
Y'all keep typing in. I'm gonna go take a piss real quick.
Okay, now yeah, it's not showing up on the screen. Screw it. Can you see their? Can you go? Can you see their chats on YouTube? Right.
I can see their chat. Yeah, it pops up here.
Okay, cool. Cause yeah, so Shellback's here. Homie's a veteran from the Navy. Sentinel. Oh, I'm gonna get it wrong. I could look it up on. I believe he's Army.
I'm gonna
Edgar.
take a piss real quick. I'll be
All right,
back.
dude. All right, dude.
I'm gonna leave the mic on though, so you can hear that big stream because I'm
Could you
right, and
please?
I got that
Could
thing.
that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. While he's taking that break, we got 4 people watching. I want to thank everybody who's showing up tonight. I have my friend Chris. Me and Chris met at a job that we had here in town as defense contractors, and as you can tell, we both hit it off. We're both Army vets. He was a combat engineer that had some EOD training, and we just have fun. I mean, we helped keep each other sane at that job that we were at. It wasn't a horrible job. It just was the job in and of itself. I liked. The job that I had. I always, especially after the excuse me, not especially after the military, but the jobs I had after the military, I enjoyed the jobs. Um, but more often than not, I would butt heads with the leadership, or I would butt heads with the directions of that things were going. And with that, being in that level where I'm having those conversations with people who can actually affect change from a security standpoint, because that's what I did. I did personnel, and physical security, was letting them know the risks that they're taking with any given thing, whether it's walking across the street or you're having a meeting downtown or any number of things. We deal with classified information. We deal with high level national, or we did anyways, high level national security equipment that is classified on a level that most people don't even get to see. And we both worked there in different jobs in different capacities. I was there, like I said, I was there to ensure the security of not only the physical security of the building, to ensure no one got in, but to ensure the people who were there could retain their military clearances in order to stay employed there. So that was part of what I did, and protecting the people that were in the building, as well as coordinating with police and fire and military and all kinds of other stuff to ensure that our the national security projects we were working on never came under risk of foreign intelligence services trying to steal our whatever widgets we're building, whatever, all of that stuff. And Chris worked there. Welcome back. You feel better?
Oh, dude, I pitched right into the center of the toilet to assert dominance. You know what I'm
You're blowing chips off the side of the bowl there.
saying? Right, just getting it.
But that's a little rundown. Chris worked in EHS, and with the job, that's environmental health and safety, and with the job that we had, and in the environment that we worked in, we won't get into the specifics because it's that would be a no-no. But Chris's job as an EHSer there at that particular company was a little bit more robust than your average EHSer. He wasn't just looking at, what is it? Is your chair right? Ergonomics or origamics or whatever it's
Ergonomics,
called.
yeah.
Ergonomics,
Not
yes, exactly.
origami. That's Japanese paper art.
But yeah, no, beyond that, because that's what it's always been wherever I've worked or whatever. But yeah, we had a special ingredients going on at the old company that we no longer work at and fucking hate.
That's because all the people that were there, all the old heads that were there,
Well, yeah, like we talked about last time, it was all they
didn't
were
like
all
being told they were wrong.
not by young, arrogant, cocky dudes who were probably right most of the time.
Well, fuck
Because
'em.
it
They're
told
lost.
them that for the last 30 years you had been working too hard and not smart enough. And that, the industry has changed in 30 years and, you might want to listen to somebody who's, I don't know. And then to your point, your boss was always didn't want to hear shit. Yeah, she didn't want to hear shit that you wanted to say.
She would have like breakdowns in conference rooms.
The way
just like trying to hold it in.
Oh, dude. Remember when you guys were trying to come up with that fucking app? Remember that? And we were trying to come up with that thing for emergencies and shooters.
Yeah, the mass communication. Yeah.
Yeah. And we had a meeting. We had a meeting on what the language was going to be on the app. And the boss was like, "What day of the week has the most letters?" And without thinking, I was like, "Saturday." And then she wanted to argue with me. Well, actually, I think it's Wednesday because, bitch, if you thought that, why didn't you fucking go?
What does it matter anyway?
It doesn't. She was trying to come up with like the most letters. You and her were. You had to come up with like you
Template.
wanted.
Yeah.
You only had a certain amount of characters. And you want to be clear and concise. That's what we were doing. We were trying to button down for each thing what we were gonna say. And I was like, I so don't want to be here right now.
But you know what's crazy? Any day of the week is abbreviated with 3 letters.
Yeah. Well, I never said she was the brightest star in the sky. And that was the trick too, is that whenever that aspect of it would come up, or she would say something because she knew security, she would say something based. Right, and she would say something to me, and I'd be like, "Honey, that changed 15 years ago." When I did that in front of my boss, he did not care for that shit at all.
Oh yeah, dude.
He and her being friends and all for 30 years. Yeah, I was like, "You don't know what you're talking about, and here's why." And he was like, "Okay."
I bet you he went home and prayed for you that night.
I think I was pretty much fired at that point. He was just waiting for something.
Yeah, but I just want to do a little PSA.
Sure, go ahead, brother.
If you're not wearing underwear, be careful when you zip it up.
Write that down. Shellback, write that down. That's going on a t-shirt.
Write that down.
If you bareback, watch the zip up. We gotta come up with something clever with that.
Yeah, because you can something about Mary yourself.
With the
Was
Franks
it something
beans?
about Mary?
Yeah, how'd you get the beans, brother Franks? That dude talking about. Oh my god, dude! Ah!
Dude, and they showed it, bro.
I lost my shit when I saw that movie, dude. I fell out of that fucking chair. Oh my god, when that dude. Oh. That was the funniest scene. Then the firefighters come to the window, and there's like 18 people around here, like, "Hey, look at this!" Oh my god, dude!
I didn't think they were gonna show it. And what was the movie rated? Like PG-13 or something at the time?
Oh, it was a hard R. It was totally
no.
R. Oh, are you crazy? They showed a scrote, dude. They showed his scrote. It's fucking R.
That just shows you how much of a pussy we are these days. That we think a scrotum makes you get an R rating.
Dude, you're talking junior hires looking at genitals.
And talking about, have you seen my big ball? Okay, it was rated R. Okay.
Of course it was, dude. With the hair gel and all that shit, he's trying to get ready for the date.
He's banging one out.
And he's like, "Where'd it go? Where'd it go?" And she's like, "Oh,
First
is that gel?" She takes that shit. It was hanging off his ear.
How did it hang off his ear?
It was just all. He's all talking. It's just all. She's like, "Oh my god, dude. That movie's so wrong. I gotta see it again."
Yeah.
That's the shit that cracks me up, dude. That's the shit that cracks. That Deadpool, fucking, oh my God, dude. The Hangover, you couldn't make those movies today, dude. You couldn't make just outlandish, uh,
Just
what do they
crazy
even
ass
call?
fucking
There's
movies.
raunchy comedies like Porky's
Ron,
or
yeah,
like,
not rom coms, ron coms.
yeah, rom-coms, raunchy ass comedies that are like foul, like Bridesmaids. Have you seen Bridesmaids?
No,
Holy shit, dude!
is it pretty bad?
That movie's all kinds of wrong. And Melissa
Uh,
McCarthy in that movie steals it, son. Oh my God, that movie's great.
is that the
That
big one?
she used to be, yeah. Oh
Is
wait,
she not anymore?
no, I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah, she lost. I think Melissa lost weight. But you know who
Well,
lost weight?
anyway,
You know who lost weight?
not me.
Oh, what the hell's her name? I can't. She's an English chick with blonde hair. She was in
That's like 90 of them, 90%
okay.
of them.
But she's a comedian. She's been in all these funny movies, but she's a big girl. She lost like 60 or 80 pounds or
Was
something like that.
was that the one in Glee where she was singing?
That I never saw. I don't know. I don't know if
Not
she was
Glee, not Glee. That's a stupid. I'm sure
somebody's gonna
somebody's
IMDb
gonna
it, but
correct us.
it's the she was in the last Night at the Museum with Ben Stiller. That's where I know her
Stiller,
from.
old, come
She
here.
was one of the old night watchmen. She was not old, but she was a night watchman guard in the last movie.
Rebel Wilson.
Yes, 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 yes. She lost weight.
She's Australian, bro. Come on,
Australian.
don't offend the Australians by calling her British.
My apologies to all my Australian brothers and sisters. Australians, dude. I met a lot of them overseas.
They're crazy motherfuckers, dude.
Them bubbas were the ones you wanted to hang with. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to go on a road march, you went with the Germans because they drank when they did the road marches. But if you wanted to hang out and have fun, it was the Australians all day
All
long.
right, I never got to the story there on our last time together.
About the Australian chicks? Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. So going through Kandahar, Australians have their own compound, right? And everything, you have those 12-foot high Jersey barriers you can't see over.
Right.
Well, at one mission, I'm the gyro operator, which is a big camera. It goes up to 30 feet or whatever. That's a whole different story. That is another one too. Anyway, so going through CAF, I put the gyro up just where I could see over those Jersey barriers, and the Australian chicks, they're fit out there
Tan.
sunbathing naked.
Mm.
That was the most action I seen overseas was that, and I almost something about married myself. Oh shit, where'd it go? Hey, if there's any Australians out there looking for a husband to get a green card to America, I got you.
The land of the big PX. Oh my God, dude!
That was the best time. They were just out there letting it hang out too, and Australians don't care. They had males and females all together, and they were all naked.
Oh yeah.
Like just one big old orgy, man. I want to go to Australia.
And then here comes Chris all walking like, "What the fuck's up, y'all?" And they're all covering their shit up like, "Oh, here comes
here comes a fucking bloody American,
fucking Yank over here." Yeah, it's them bastards. Yeah,
dude,
them fuckers, dude.
That was the best,
dude. We always have these romantic sort of notions of the small groups of people that we have run into around the world. Oh, Malaysians are fantastic, dude. You met two people. You know what I'm saying? Like Australians, for example. Like I had there were like 6 or 7 people that I was friendly with, and then a few dozen that I kind of knew. That's not all of them.
They were all fantastic, weren't they?
They were all fantastic. So the whole country is fantastic. You know what I mean?
It's fucking great. Just like every British person I ever met is a condescending asshole.
Who's the condescending asshole?
All the British people.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
No, I'm just kidding. I have it. It's the pomp. Was it pompous? that sort of
Pompous assholes, yeah.
Well,
Maybe
honestly,
pompous was the word I was looking for.
well, it's how it comes off, and certain dialects of, you
Yeah.
get down to Wales and they don't sound pompous, but you get up. It depends on where you're at, but dude, Australians. So there's no drinking while you're deployed, right? Everyone knows
Who
that.
said?
You're not supposed to be drinking when you deploy.
It,
And
it,
so
it,
let's
it's
just say
suggested
that.
that you don't.
Right. It's heavily suggested that when you deploy, you don't drink. And that was like, we didn't quote unquote take advantage of it, but there were some days where we were like, nah, we got to go to the Aussie compound because they got brew. And we just hang out there in the sun for hours drinking.
Naked with all of them.
No. I don't.
No, no.
I
No
don't
swinging
know that.
Frankie means?
No, there's no place to put my gun.
Oh, I'll tell you, in your prison wallet.
My gun's too big for that.
Oh, mine's not.
My
Put
butthole
an
is
M2.
like microscopic and closed in on itself. It's just.
I'll put an M2 up mine, bro.
I have like double anus. It's all like closed down with a fucking big barrier door that comes down. So.
Bro, I'll put a 50 cal up there. God.
Up where the tramp stamp goes, just a 50 cal right
That's
there.
it.
Nah, yeah, dude. I don't know. But the Australians, the Israelis, the Italians.
Oh, dude, the Israelis are so hot. The women.
Dude, the Navy medics that we had on Air John, they were.
Why did it?
Dude, it was. What was funny is where we
Army
would work
recruiters need to do a better job. I'm just saying that.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I think they do it as a fuck you is what I think the Army recruiters do.
It's a huge fuck
you want to join the Army? Cool, go. Where the Navy's like, yeah, no, we don't have anything for you right now. They can play that game. Them and the Marines can play it a little easier because they have billets. With the Army, they're just like, we'll just let anyone in. So come on in.
Everybody.
What was that? Was that a dog?
That's my dog. Yeah.
I didn't see all of it.
Yeah.
I saw a thing moving. Hoping no one was breaking in. Weren't watching
Well, I should be
home
getting in and
invasion
out here
live.
pretty soon. My great ex-wife is bringing me in and out.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
Isn't that glorious having In and Out here now?
It's fantastic.
You know, did you see where they broke ground where the old Outback was?
Yeah, they tore the whole building down. They said, "Fuck this building."
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's because the In and Out building's so iconic, and so they're gonna do the whole area.
But
they're
you
just gonna
can't
make that whole area In and Out.
put up a facade or something. You have to tear the entire building down as like a "fuck you" Outback.
Well,
you suck.
You remember Outback was huge though, and you've seen the one up north, the In and Out they have up north, dude. It's like bink, bink, bink. They've got what 12 tables inside.
I had
And
never
Outback
been inside out. I always waited an hour and a half for the drive-through.
Oh, that's crazy. You know what we did after it started, dude? The best time to go after it opened up was when it snowed. When it snowed,
Oh yeah,
we were in and out.
and all the people are outside. They're like,
Totally, in their big ass parkas, winds all going crazy. I got the window cracked like this. Like I want a 4x4 spread only. Oh yeah, dude.
dude,
You ever order off the secret menu?
always 4x4 animal style fries with the mustard fries, flying Dutchman, and a Neapolitan shake.
Nice.
I don't weigh 260 pounds for no reason. What?
The family behind you that's from Colorado that's never been to In-N-Out's like, I don't see that, George. Do you see it on the menu?
That's because the menu only has hamburger, cheeseburger, double hamburger, double
Fries.
cheeseburger.
The menu's like this big, 4 items on it. Where'd the
They're like,
turkey
"Where'd they
sandwich
get-"
come from? I didn't see that shit on the menu.
Where'd we get all this shit from? And everybody's like, "Oh, In-N-Out's not that good." Well, did you order what's on the menu? Yeah. Where else am I gonna order from? Well, that's your first problem.
Yeah, you got
Because
to
a
get it.
burger's a burger.
Yeah, dude, but that spread's good. I like dipping the fries in it.
Yeah,
dude.
man. Look,
That's the best time to go. We accidentally fell upon that little trick. I forget exactly what it was, but like no dinner was made. And it had just opened, but we hadn't been there yet. Actually, no, I take that back. It took my wife right after it opened, it took her 2 hours door to door to come home with In-N-Out. Okay. And so she was in line, an hour? Because it's like a half hour, 20 minutes or so to get there. So it's like all this time, right? I'm like, fuck this. So it snowed. We had no dinner ready, whatever have you. And I'm like, I'm going to go to In-N-Out. My wife's like,
All
oh,
right,
okay,
see you tomorrow.
good luck. Yeah, doing that whole thing. I pulled up. I took some pictures. You know, there was no one there. She showed me video of like, I mean, it was a big deal for those that don't know. In Colorado, of course, anywhere else where you guys, I just read part of a part of a chat message that I'll get to in just a second. Shell, hold on, I don't want to look at it, but you had here in Colorado, you have a lot of people who are from California, so you had a lot of people who were excited that In-N-Out, one of the staples of Southern California, especially, was finally coming to Colorado. So it was in the papers. You know, where's it going to be? All this stuff. Everybody was totally talking about it. And then they decided we're going to have one in Colorado Springs, and then we're going to have one up in Denver in a fucking mall of all places. And everyone was like, holy shit. So when that Joker opened, I mean, it was around the block. It was like 5 hours to get a burger or some bullshit. It was stupid.
In Aurora, people were in line from like 6 a.m. and they had the police out there saying, "Hey, if you're past this line, you're not going to get your burger before it closes. So you might as well go home."
Yep.
Because you're not getting out today.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. I haven't been there when one has opened in an area where there aren't any. And so it was weird. I was excited for it. I was like, cool, you know, but we joked about it. It's like, oh, well, we'll get it in a year because there's no way we're going to get it, you know, anytime soon because the line's going to be too crazy. And then there I go bebopping in. Actually, I think I was out and about and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick up In-N-Out. And my wife's like, oh, fuck, I'm going to see you in like 4 hours. And
if I'm not mistaken,
10 minutes later, I took a picture like no one's here. It was crazy.
If I'm not mistaken, the reason why In-N-Out came to Colorado was because of a rumor that started that they were coming to Colorado. They're like, fuck it. All right, we'll go. Because like 2-3 years ago, the rumor started like, hey, In-N-Out's coming to Colorado. And In-N-Out, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure somebody will correct us later on. Probably not anybody that's watching right now, but somebody was like, hey, In-N-Out's coming to Colorado. In-N-Out wrote back like, no, we're not. Because it's still a family-owned business. You can't franchise
right
an In-N-Out. So they still own all their restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And In-N-Out doubled down. They said, you know what, we're going to put a distribution center in Colorado Springs.
No shit.
And boom, there it is.
There it is, dude. Like not only are we coming to Colorado, but we're going to get Arizona, Wyoming, Kansas. We've got a distribution center. We got that whole area just locked down.
Up and down 25. And I was fuck yes.
You know what I heard recently was that a lot of what went into their decision was the fact that Whataburger, after that happened and made news, In-N-Out's like, we're not going to Colorado. Whataburger was like, we'll go. And so they started looking into Colorado. And when In-N-Out got a hold of that, they were like, no, we're going to go there. We're going to go big. Exactly. It's just like.
That's ours. They get pissed all over Colorado. They're like, yeah, this mine.
Totally.
But you're still going to have some Texans out there with Whataburger's great. Like, yeah.
Well, you see that the one in Aurora, the one in Colorado Springs is killing Aurora as far as sales.
In-N-Out?
Yeah. They're not getting another one up there. We're getting a second one before they're getting a second one in Denver.
Well, that's because all the Army people from California.
Oh, that's true.
But Whataburger has a bigger menu. You know, they have all their jalapeno melts, all that bullshit. But man, I don't like eating a burger and then the grease, not even like the juice, but grease is dripping down your arms.
Yeah.
Like, Whataburger's all right.
Whataburger and Steak and Shake were two of my Texas staples when I was in Texas. And the reason I'd go there is because it was extremely late at night and I was hungover as fuck. And it was like, I need something in my body, and Whataburger was still open and we'd go. Or Steak and Shake was still open or whatever.
Yeah. You been to the Steak and Shake here?
Yeah, it's not the same.
Guaranteed diarrhea.
Oh yeah, it's not the same. It's not. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't like the real thin. I don't like that style. So
Guaranteed diarrhea.
my daughter, both my daughters love Freddy's,
Freddy? Eh,
but it's got the In-N-Out sauce. It tastes like the In-N-Out sauce, and so it's it's similar in
Freddy's
that
pisses
regard.
me off, man, with the small fries.
Yeah, I don't care for those.
I don't like shoestring fries. Like, what I gotta get a handful to get like 2 regular fries? Like,
Well, when your burgers are thin, then it's all bread, and I don't dig on that.
yeah.
So
My daughter likes Freddy's.
I
She
think it's a
also
kid
likes
thing.
In-N-Out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yep. So, put this tweet on there about, or this comment about Army guys having the best commercials, because that's really the best thing about the Army is the commercials
Except for the one that just came out.
and the Australians.
Did you see the commercial he's talking about? The cartoon?
No, I don't have
Cartoon.
TV.
It's got the this is why you need Twitter, is so that you can get these little. I don't have TV either. I haven't had network TV, and I don't even know how. I've got apps and stuff, but I don't deal with commercials at all. I have little to no tolerance for commercials anymore. But yeah, dude, you see, I mean, people just throwing up stuff that I wouldn't see through the normal course of my day, and then I'm like, oh, and then I go research it because I'm not even, it's not even in my zip code, I'm not even thinking about that shit when it's going on. But yeah, dude, they've got a little cartoon out for the Army, where a girl's like, I forget, she says something about being. I saw it on the net. You don't need TV. Yeah.
All right.
I don't
Call
think
me
Shell
out.
I don't think Shell has TV either. So
I'll watch it for you, Shell.
there you go. So Shellback, that's a Navy thing. He crossed the which meridian do you have to cross in order to get the Shellback? I think it's east to west. I don't think it's north to south. I think it's east to west.
So, east to west.
And they get
That's
that
the
shell.
equator, you fuck.
No, the equator, you fuck, goes north and south. That's the
No,
meridian.
that's the prime meridian.
The prime meridian goes north and south and divides the world into east and west.
Yes.
The equator divides the world into north and south is what I was trying to say.
That's exactly what I was trying to say.
A gal raised by two moms fighting for social justice. That's the new commercial. And it's a cartoon.
Oh.
They show the moms getting married and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah,
crossing the
equator.
Yeah, crossing the equator. I thought it was something. My brother was a Marine. I knew there was, whenever you do it for the first time.
I got a degree in geography. I do that.
You have a degree in geography?
I do. You want to see it?
No. I believe you.
Okay. It's pretty shitty. Geography and environmental studies. Tell me I was bred to be on the left. From California. Got a liberal arts degree. Hey, man.
Quite the character.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, dude. It's I dig it. In-N-Out. I love those staples. And I think that's a lot of the reason, like when we get upset
Nostalgia.
about. Yeah, it is the nostalgia. It's getting into revisiting that feeling we got the first time we saw something. And I think that what's not done in Hollywood nowadays is entirely not enough care is given to how it's going to be received. And
In-N-Out, they'll let us down. Marigold, Mangold, whatever his name is, he's gonna let us down.
Yeah,
with the nostalgia.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that when you become defensive that way, and your knee-jerk reaction is to become defensive, and you go on the offensive at that point, you're blinded to common sense. Quite obviously, because I assure you, Mangold is an intelligent individual, or else he wouldn't be in the position he's in today. But he allowed his emotions to get the better of him, and I think that because he has such pressure on him, because it is an Indiana Jones property, and the fact that Spielberg and Lucas aren't involved, I think he feels the pressure. I think he knows, much like everyone who works on shitty movies or movies that are less than, they know that, and he feels it in his bones that this isn't going to be the movie that people want. All right,
I mean,
what's you got to say
go
about
ahead.
that you're laughing at?
He said he's a golden shellback now.
Golden shellback.
Sounds like a sex move. Somebody peed on your back.
Golden shower shellback. Well, it is the Navy, so you know.
Oh man, you know why the Navy why they put their name tapes on their ass pocket, right?
So you know who you're humping.
That's right.
Yeah. Want to be able to call that name out. Believe me, being from the Army and having Air Force cousins and a squid brother and a jarhead brother and an Army dad.
Hey, you just fucking everywhere.
Yeah. We just clown.
And nobody in the Coast Guard?
No. Why? Lifeguards? I'm just kidding.
Coast Guard.
Coast Guard. No, I know. I of course everybody in the military branches makes fun of the Coast Guard. But those dudes work.
They're probably the
some of
hardest working ones.
They're some badass people. I mean, every time they go out to do a job, it is just shitty conditions because someone's done fucked up in a storm.
And that's,
you know what I mean?
That's
and they gotta
like,
go save
hey,
lives. Right. And then
shitty weather, no matter what.
Right. And it's like, all I gotta do is destroy shit. I could do that. You know what I mean? I got this. I don't have to worry about, sinking or drowning or like a fire on a sub or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's hats off to anyone who could work on a ship or a boat. I truly, really.
Yeah. Even if you do take it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it, dude. Everybody's gay, every once in a while.
It's Pride Month, man. Be proud.
Yeah. So, and but
how did we gain a follower after that comment?
What'd you say?
How did we gain a follower after that comment?
Did we?
Yeah.
They didn't know. They just came in. Oh shit! You can be like that
kid
in the meme, like, oh fuck. They come in the room like, nope. Phew.
He mentioned Pride Month and somebody taking him back. What's this?
Oh, it's funny.
Oh
yeah, no. The reason I joke and I think it's
there's
not like
my daughter.
Oh hey.
Everybody, now you're gonna be a meme. All right.
There you are. Say hi to the
can
whole
you
world.
put that on the table? Thank you for in and out. Get some longer shorts.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
What are you smoking on, bro?
What am I what?
Smoking on.
It's not pot, if that's what you're wondering. And who the fuck would smoke? I mean, these things are so skinny. Why would you cut these to put weed in it? You'd have some.
You wouldn't. You'd freak them, is what it's called.
Yeah, you get the blunt. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Those,
you have no idea how many times cops have done a double take because I'm looking at them at the fucking stoplight like, hey. And they look over like, it happens all the time. In fact,
get out of control.
Dude, when my old boss saw me smoke for the first time.
Who? Rob?
Yeah,
oh.
He was like, I was like, come here. Look. Oh, okay. You'd never seen it before. Most people have never seen the small ones. That's fine. But, I don't know. It feels better than smoking at like 5 stogies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more cigarette-ish in that fashion. You get the pull and all that stuff. But it's not that heaviness of a cigar. So
yeah.
But they've got a nice pull, and I don't know. It's a shitty habit. Don't get into it.
Well, I smoke cigars, man.
I've tried to stop smoking. I mean, I inhale these, and I've
Ooh,
smoked since I'm 23. So
what the fuck is wrong with you? You heathen.
a lot of things.
You need Jesus.
Oh, dude, I went in the military in the very. All right, so I had maybe a handful of cigarettes growing up, and so at 23, when I finally went in the military, in basic training, kid, people were like, dip had been smuggled into the barracks, whatever have you. And I'm like,
In the nutsack, that's the
or
best kind of dip.
whatever. And hey, you got dip? I was fiending for it, and I'd never had it before. And I was like, I need something. And I don't even know, maybe it was a stress or whatever have you. But this guy's, oh yeah, dude, but just be cool. And they were the ones that were in the pouches, so it wasn't all loose and stuff. He's like, just be cool, because if it's your first time, don't swallow the shit and all that stuff. So he's telling me, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we're sitting in the bathroom in basic training in the middle of the night. And thanks, babe. And, right, so there I am in the middle of the night in basic training in the shitter. I got dip in my mouth, and I'm about a second away from just blowing my shit all over the bathroom stall. I'm green. I imagine green as all shit. Absolutely dying, but loving the fact that I am doing something that I wasn't supposed to be doing in basic training.
Yeah.
I think I ended up throwing up because it got too
Everybody
much.
throws up their first time.
Totally. But then even that, it was like this pull. And then as soon as basic training was over and I went off to AIT, forget about it. Literally the first time we were dismissed from formation where we could just go, pack of smokes. I have no idea where it came from, dude. It just made sense to me. I'm going to start smoking now. And not only that, I smoked Newports, kid.
Oh, they're trying to ban those. The government thinks that because African Americans are more prone to smoking, what is it, menthol cigarettes, it's racist. So they want to ban flavored cigarettes and premium tobacco.
Right.
So pretty much what they're telling all the black citizens are, you can't think for yourself. We're going to make you better.
Well, it's the soft bigotry of low expectations. It goes back to the same point, is that they haven't banned cigarettes. They're only banning the menthol cigarettes, which are predominantly smoked by black individuals. Isn't that the logic behind that? If you can't tell that that's racist, I don't know what to tell you.
But they're like, yeah, we want to ban flavored tobacco because of kids and menthol. What's it called? Menthol, because you're black, and it's like you're being racist right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're just following stereotypes because you think that's all black people smoke. Is menthol.
Well, you want to know what's funny? Is that me, my wife, and my best friend at the time used to joke that we were all confused by the brand of cigarettes we used to smoke. I was smoking black cigarettes, all right, Newports. My wife was smoking Winston's.
Oh yeah,
that's a
harsh cigarette.
That's a harsh ass cigarette. That's like an old crusty white dude cigarette. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, white dude. I was thinking Salem's. That's a hooker cigarette.
Yeah, Salem's are hooker cigarette. Get it right, dude. and
my
then
bad.
My other
sorry,
friend,
all you hookers out there.
My best friend was smoking Marlboro Ultralights, which is a chick cigarette.
Yep.
Actually, no. At the time that we made the joke, he was smoking Virginia Slims. We clowned him into smoking Ultralights. So he was smoking this dude in the army was smoking Virginia Slim, son, with the filters. So you got the filter, which is like this long. Then you got this long ass, skinny ass cigarette.
Hey, was he smoking it out of the thing that you add the cigarette to make it even longer?
the Pink Panther fucking or the Penguin.
Looking like
little tiny cigarette on the end, a big ass. Yeah.
Did he pull him out of a golden tin that holds like 10?
No, but he's smoking. What was funny is he smoked him like John Travolta. Did you ever watch John Travolta smoke in the 90s, dude, in movies? He's cool as fucking. He had the coolest fucking. the whip and the thing. He had the coolest smoking
Oh,
mannerisms.
as a matter of fact, yes, I have. Yep.
Right. So, but my friend, I don't know if he was copying. We never talked about. I don't know if he was copying him, but I noticed it. He smoked like. Hold on, let me get.
You can't do it. You're gonna ash yourself all
I
over
can't.
the
I'm
place.
gonna burn the fucking house down. But he did it with the fingers, and he had this. It was like he was smoking this like the manliest of manly. And I'm like, you're smoking a white stick, dude. You're smoking a girl cigarette. What are you doing? But yeah, that was. It's funny how those stereotypes and those kind of. Well, it's because the reason, statistically speaking, the reason they're a stereotype is because more often than not, that's what you find. That they follow some sort of pattern. Oh shite!
We got some. We got some.
RC found us.
Yeah, we got some brotherly love going on over here.
Well, it looks like we dropped somebody because RC just came in. We're still at 5, so they may have dipped out after the whole Pride thing we were doing a minute ago.
Yeah,
What's going on,
oh,
RC?
this ain't shit about Pride.
What's going on, RC from the NYC?
How are you still? Okay, I'm assuming you're still in New York. Is that true? Because, man, I hope you're not. There's New York, all of California, Philadelphia. Those are just some.
Well, it's not all of New York. Because if you look at it, all of
New York City.
Well, did you see the thing about the counties in New York wanting to make New York City its own state? So all the other counties except for New York City's county or the surrounding counties around New York City. Right. They want to make their own state and leave New York City as New York, and they'll become something else.
Yeah,
and you hear about those? Did you see those people in Oregon want to join Idaho?
All the rights.
Right. That's how we change the shit, because we make Idaho bigger and they go from 3 electoral votes to 9. Then we make Colorado bigger because we take people from Kansas. Then we go from 9 electoral votes to 12. You see what I'm saying? That's how we win these elections. Look at Florida.
Wouldn't that be considered gerrymandering, though?
California just lost electoral votes and Florida gained electoral votes. And so now it's like because all the Democrats had New York, Florida, and California, and they win the fucking election, that's crazy.
They can't live. So they want to be Democrat, liberal, but they can't survive in with their own form of government or system of government or whatever, ideology of government. So they moved everything else and ruined that. And then, so California will eventually be red again. Portland, or Oregon, shall I say, will eventually be red again. Arizona, I don't really have hope for Arizona. I don't think they will.
Arizona's weird.
New York, if they, man, that won't ever happen, but if they can make New York City its own state, dude. Because right now, if you win the coast, you win.
That's pretty much, yeah. If that's pretty much it. If you look at the numbers,
all of Middle America, if you win the coast, you're in.
Yeah. Well, when you look at the counties that Trump won, it pretty much it proves that our founding fathers were geniuses, because they predicted, or they were able to foresee, overpopulated states basically over talking other states that are less populated. Like take Wyoming? Do we have a state that has 500,000 people in it? Like Montana.
That's
right?
Wyoming. No, Montana. One of those weird
northern either states, yeah. Wyoming or Montana has 500,000 people in the entire state, and their state's as big as Colorado, if not bigger, in square miles rather. So, and think about, we have more than that in Colorado Springs.
But if you look at the Colorado election map, you have Denver was blue, Pueblo was blue, Springs was purple, everything else was red. And homeboy won with Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
You have
don't
California.
Forget about the front range too. Your Vales and all that shit they voted for, and your Boulder, and your Trinidad.
Yeah.
That went towards Biden.
fucking
But again,
bullshit.
that's overpopulated areas because where are all the liberals going? They're going to Denver and Pueblo and Boulder. They're not coming to Colorado Springs because they don't want to bump elbows with all the people that make the things that they want to, or either protect them or whatever have you. They don't want to do any of that. And so they just stay up in Denver and they overpopulate the area, and they want to basically push out anybody who keeps the state alive, like, the farmers and all that shit. Making it harder for farmers to actually do their jobs, or even people to earn a living fracking. They won't even allow that. And it's like the upside downness of what's being allowed versus what's it's ridiculous.
What happened to the Keystone Pipeline shut down, right? Gas shot up in price. What happened when gas shot up in price? Russia held that pipeline in Florida captive. If Trump was president, that never would have happened.
No. In fact, the reason the policies he put in place, we were energy independent for 2 years. Year and a half, 2 years.
We were just fucking loving it. Well, I was. I can't speak for everybody, but I was fucking loving it.
$1.80 gas? Are you kidding me?
Bro.
It was great.
Unemployment was low. And it's like, now people are making more money. I think the COVID relief finally stopped, right?
Mm-hmm.
After a year later. But people were making more money on unemployment than they were working. So they're like, I'm not going to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's finally going to stop because we're getting traction on COVID.
Well,
but now China has the new bird flu that came out.
Mm-hmm.
You heard about that?
They're all kinds of fucked up over there, and you can't tell me that wasn't part of a biological weapons. You just can't fucking do it. With what I know of China and what they want to do with the world, you can't convince me that they aren't trying to take out the only roadblock in their way from dominating the world is the United States.
You would pretty much have to show me that another country created COVID-19 with irrefutable proof.
Video evidence.
That somebody else created COVID-19 for me not to blame the Chinese government.
Right.
And not the people, not the People's Republic of China, but the Communist Party.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You'd have to show me irrefutable proof that they didn't create that as a biological weapon.
And that's a good point too, is that when I talk China, I'm talking the CCP. I'm talking about the government. I'm talking about those that are hell-bent on using their own people to advance their own political ideology, which is basically
the ones
ruling
that
the world.
Don't recognize Taiwan as a country.
Right.
Which is fucking ridiculous.
Well, there's that. Well, there's a little history that goes along behind that. Did we talk about this last time, or was that with?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit where you disappointed me with the John Cena thing, and then
right. And there was a movement after World War, or before and then after World War II, which was a democratic movement within China, and they were either ostracized or they end up leaving and then basically created a base for their political ideology in Taiwan. And at that point, the Republic of Taiwan.
Yeah, it's the Republic of China.
Became the Republic of China, and then mainland China became the People's Republic of China.
Yeah.
With the communist slant.
No, wait. Did we get that right? Oh, yeah, somebody will correct it. But yeah, anyway. Taiwan good, China bad.
Yeah. Hong Kong good. Not anymore, but I feel bad for
they're
those
still
people.
Protesting in Hong Kong. And nobody's talking about that.
Well, that was the thing, too. Did you notice that at the beginning of last year, what was going on in Taiwan? Or not Taiwan, but Hong Kong? All those protests.
The protests. And it was on the net, it was on the news, it was everywhere. Right.
And then what shut that shit down?
COVID.
Yeah.
And
you can't tell me. And then they want to try to tell us that it came from a fucking bat market, but our scientists can't get it to actually affect bats? Are you fucking crazy? basically from beginning to end, everything from January of last year until now, if you've been paying attention, has been
Orchestrated.
the most perfect example of the two political parties. So you had Trump, forget personalities, okay? Forget all that bullshit. Policies alone. You have Trump, energy independence, respect around the world. Our enemies don't want to try shit because he's just crazy enough. They have no idea what the hell he's gonna do. He talks a good game. He's making the United States energy independent and fiscally strong, and we can't have that. And unemployment's at a historical low for everybody, and everything was pushing in a direction that he said he wanted to push. It was the first time in my lifetime, I don't remember Reagan that well, where a politician was honestly delivering on the promises he was making during the campaign. That shit had to go away right quick and in a hurry. Not only did he beat
Quick.
Hillary, but he was literally he had undone everything Obama had done, and he was making great and positive strides to change the entire ideology of the country to swing away from the Democrats. More importantly, to swing blacks away from the Democrats.
And did we not see record number of African Americans voting for Donald Trump?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Donald Trump wasn't just for the old white guy.
No.
He was for the working class American.
Regardless of what they tried to tell the world that he was like, at every turn he proved them wrong. Now, granted, I will admit that he's not the most articulate of speakers. Okay? I will admit that there were times on Twitter where I was like, fucking shut up. Okay?
You gotta shut up every now and again.
Right. And the hair and the orange and all. There were things about him that I was like, what are we doing? But when you take all that aside and you look at what was accomplished, it is the perfect example of how quickly we can slide if we allow full throat progressive socialist Marxist ideals to infiltrate our government. Because once they got back in charge and they started to turn the screws in the other direction, that's when shit started to fall apart. Now you have people going, there's a problem at our border. What's going on with China? You have people who voted for Biden who were saying, my gas is twice as much as it was last year, and we're about to go to war with somebody. What's going on? And the phrase that I said this today based off of something totally unrelated, but liberals, end up creating the thing that they fear most. And that is a fired up conservative.
That's exactly what it is, right? So
it's a fired up conservative. It's a fired up conservative that they're most afraid of.
Alex Jones noted that the Democrats create and they kind of reflect their biggest fears onto the conservative party. And it's actually them that's doing it, right? So in 2016, it was Russia colluded with Donald Trump to get him elected, right?
Mm-hmm.
And turns out Ukraine and all them were actually in bed with the Bidens. It's like, so they project their fears because they know they're guilty of it onto something else. They're deflecting.
Mm-hmm. Don't look at Russia. Look over here. Don't look at China. Look over here.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So the Democrats were pushing for lockdowns, things of that nature, all to get Donald Trump out of there, and it fucking worked.
Mm-hmm. Well, them taking the going into COVID, I think their strategy of literally taking the opposite stance on anything Trump said.
Anything.
Them doing that, it really started to grind on people. Like I can very easily see people saying, you know what? I actually like what he did, but I'm really fucking tired of talking about Trump. So let's have somebody else in the White House. I can see people. I can see Americans actually doing that. I don't want to hear this shit anymore. I don't want to be, you know, a joke or whatever they are. Like they're more towards the middle, and they're just for whatever reason. I mean, you
Yeah,
have Romneys and McCains and stuff like that were like, Trump's not our
but they
guy.
were all rhinos. Those were
Right.
all rhinos.
But see, he threatened their establishment because the rhinos are in bed with the Democrats. They're absolutely no different than the Democrats. And
Yeah.
so a choice between McCain and Obama back in 2008 wasn't actually a fucking choice. It was like, well, who's going to just destroy the country slower? And then when you get, you know, what was the one? Yeah, McCain and then Obama and then Romney and Obama.
Romney and Obama.
Right. We put a Democrat up against a Democrat, and we didn't put an actual, not a Republican. We didn't put an actual fiscal conservative in the White House. We didn't put anybody up, not in the White House, but there was nobody.
The candidate. Yeah.
As a candidate. That's the word I'm looking for. So it was like, if we don't actually have a best person in the group that we're choosing from, then we're shooting ourselves in the foot as conservatives. So if you're not looking for somebody who is going to promote conservative values, well, then you've already lost. You're admitting that you've lost. You're happy to lose at that point. And so how do you win? How do you then gain power? How do you get back into power so that you can start affecting change? Well, if you're not worried about affecting change differently than the guy who's in power as a Democrat, then what difference does it make who's sitting in the White House? But then when you get a Trump in, who's going after both rhinos and Democrats and expecting more from the conservatives, we haven't had that. We haven't had that since Newt was Speaker of the House. Someone who pulled everybody together, like a coalition of conservatives. Bush couldn't do that shit. Bush is a rhino. Bush is a progressive, just like
just like his dad.
Right, exactly. And they're all in bed. They're all benefiting in some fashion. They're all benefiting from either saying something or not saying something, or taking a stance or not taking a stance. And so we're the ones who pay the most for that. And yet we're the ones who actually are asking for it ourselves, because we're the ones who vote. So if you don't like what's going on, better yet, if you don't like how you look in the mirror, change something. Don't just keep looking in the mirror going, God, I don't look good, or I don't like the way I look, or whatever it may be. Make a change. Do something.
Take action.
Exactly. If all you're going to do is complain, then I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear it. If you need help affecting your change, I will be more than glad to help you. But I'm not just going to sit here and allow you to continue spewing this victimhood bullshit when you're the one who keeps voting these people into office. So if you don't want to be a victim, quit voting in people who want to keep you a victim. Vote in people who actually want to help you help yourself. The man who's given a fish.
Go ahead.
Liberals. The whole.
Yeah, are you talking about like the Pelosi's, Feinsteins, and all that compared to the Cruzes and Rubios and all that?
Mm-hmm.
So the career politicians versus people that care.
Right, and the people who appear, at the very least, at least they're good actors, they project that they're there for the people, and they are trying to affect change on our behalf, just like they're supposed to. We elect them. We elect our representatives to go to Washington for us, to speak for us. But every time my senator or representative goes to Washington, our senators are fucking idiots, but every time our representative goes to Congress, more often than not, I can count on him to vote like I would.
That's what they're there for.
Right, precisely. They're not there to just all of a sudden vote however they want to, and shut up, constituents back home. You'll do as you're told. I'm now a representative, and this is what I'm doing. No, fucko, you work for us, and you will do what we tell you to do. And so if we don't want that for our state,
there's a Scott. Is it Scott from one of the Carolinas?
Tim
black
Scott?
guy.
Tim Scott, yeah. The first black, what was it?
That dude,
He's the
he's
first black.
fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
And we need more people like him.
Mm-hmm. We do.
So
But you know, the Congressional Black Caucus won't have him, don't want him to join their group.
He won't be a lifer.
No. Nah, he'll run for president. I think right now
he won't be Trump in 2024. Trump's gonna come back hard.
Yeah, and Tim Scott's young enough to he'll be there in
32.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
But yeah, no, Camilla and Nancy being a few heartbeats from the top does scare me, especially with a president like Biden, who's obviously not in the best health.
No, not at all. It to his point, it is one of my greatest concerns because she's got the love. Oh my goodness. Turned on the sun over there. She's got the
love.
What
are you doing over there?
All these high profile, bigwig, money bank Democrats because they think she's going to be the first female president.
Kamala, whatever.
No, AOC. I don't think there's any confidence whatsoever in Kamala. I think that I don't know what the hell was going on. She dropped out before California even had their primary, her own home state. She had 1% of the fucking vote. None of the Democrats had any confidence in her. Yet Biden picks her. She was the worst pick of anybody there. But the only reason she was picked was because she was the only black woman who was in that group. So that's why she was picked. But I have to tell you, there are a lot of stone cold liberal reporters and journalists and those kinds of things that are looking at her like, are you going to do something, or are you just going to sit there and pretend to be pretty for the next 4 years? Because what has she done? She
hasn't even commented on the border crisis, right? They're still blaming Trump for that. It's like, you've had fucking 6 months to do something about it.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Like, it's the same. When are you just gonna stop playing this Trump card?
Well, when the hell is she gonna actually get down to the border and actually see for herself what the fuck is going on? Can't tell you how many times journalists and other people have actually gone down to the border in the time frame she could have, and she hasn't. So it's like, well, if we could have done it, why the hell haven't you done it? And then she had that interview, and Lester Holt, of all people, from NBC was like, well, you haven't been to the border.
Guy.
Yeah, but give kudos to him because he actually asked her a hard question. Well, you haven't been to the border. Well, I haven't been to Europe either. I don't know what your point is. Look, bitch, we're having a problem down at the border, and you've been in charge with it. We don't have a problem with Europe right now, and you haven't been in charge. You haven't been put in charge of that. Why don't you take care of the shit that you've been put in charge with? The problem is for her to take charge and actually deal and actually work that problem and solve it, she'd have to go against Uncle Joe's fucking policies and go back to Trump's policies. That's the only way to fix it. And they can't admit that. And they sure as shit don't want pictures of her down at the border. So what are they going to do? They're just going to blow it off, dude, until people stop talking about it. She is not going down to that damn border. They can't afford to have her have pictures down there if they want her to be the next president, because we're going to look over at her and say, well, you didn't do shit as vice president. What makes us think that you're going to do shit as president? Why should we vote for you? You see what I'm saying? So Kamala doesn't have the confidence, I don't feel anyways, of not only average Americans, should she have to take over Joe's job, but the leadership. I think that those jokers at the top are like, if we take out Joe, we got to take out her too. Because there's no way that we're putting up with her being in the White House.
Yeah, but then you have Pelosi.
Well, yeah, in the current state it is now, but if we wait till after 2022. Did you hear about that shit?
Come back hard in 2022.
Did you hear about that shit? Trump talking or joking about running for a House seat from Florida. And then if he wins, because a new congressional seat is opening up in Florida, and he's thinking about running for it, and if he wins, he's going to put himself in for Speaker of the House, and then he'll be third in line to the fight. Then he'll impeach Trump, he'll impeach Biden, he'll impeach Harris, and then he goes up to be the president. Dude,
I actually want that to happen.
It's funny, and for me, it's fun to think about stuff like that as a little fu to all the stuff that go. But I I don't know. I don't see it happening,
But
but it would be something to see. I have to tell you because he wouldn't be
bro,
the first president to do first ex-president to do it. I think
no,
Jefferson. There were two that went. Jefferson and Adams, I think, went from having been president, and they both went to Congress after that. So he's not the first.
they have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Nothing's changed. Life has gotten worse. What the fuck? Like, you're supposed to be doing all this great shit. What are you doing?
Right. And that's what I'm waiting for. Is I'm waiting for all the
And
great shit that we were supposed to get. I'm waiting for this better
didn't
world that Joe was
didn't
supposed to create.
didn't Joe Biden already nix like the forgiveness plan, which was one of his like top running points? Was like, I'm going to forgive college debt, and he was like, nah, we're not going to do that.
Right. Another failed promise. Yet every promise that Trump made on the campaign, I don't know if it's every promise, but a lot of the promises he made on the campaign, he followed through with in his first term. A lot of presidents are like, yeah, we'll get to it in our second. I know I said that the first term, but we'll get to it in our second. Just reelect us.
Because most presidents are worried about their second term getting reelected. Trump was like, I'm going to make do with what I have now.
I have 4 years. I'm gonna do the best I can. Yep, that's all I'm guaranteed. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's what made him such an effective president.
And that's what I
Say
think.
what you want about his fucking Twitter. Who cares?
Right.
He doesn't have a filter. So what?
It'd be like one of us. It'd be like me or you being president.
Be like, that ain't never gonna happen, bud.
No, I know, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's like someone comes at you crazy, you're gonna give them the stink eye. Like, there's no filter, and by all rights there shouldn't be because we elected a businessman, not a career politician.
Exactly.
So,
yep.
I don't know. It was nice to have that and to show the country what could be, and I think that by the time we get to 2024, I think enough of the country will be like,
I think they're already sick of it.
Yeah, and we're 6 months in, dude. We're only 6 months in, and they're
already starting to question it.
That's why I think 2022, dude. I mean, if we don't walk away with the House and Senate, it's because literally we shit the bed. We did it.
Doesn't that fucking scare you that everything is blue right now, except the Supreme Court? And the Supreme Court, they want to add more justices.
Yeah. And that
to negate everything that Donald Trump did.
To your point, that report's due soon. It's due. I think it's due in June. That commission that he put together to investigate the pros and cons of adding seats to the Supreme Court. That commission is supposed to, if I'm not mistaken, is supposed to release its report this month.
There is no pros. You just can't change shit up. The last president to add justices was who? Roosevelt?
I know Roosevelt wanted to stack the court, and the Democrats in the House and Senate told him to go pound sand. His own party told him no, and because he wanted to stack the judges, he wanted to stack the court because he wasn't getting the shit done that he wanted to get done. So,
yes, correction. I hope he's drinking, and I hope he meant erection.
Oh, he did. You know he did.
Why'd you take it off? Let's just have erections on the screen, bro. Shit, our country, dude, I don't know, man. It scares me, the state we're in. And like he said, he's ready for an actual Red Dawn. And I don't think an actual Red Dawn would happen. I think Joe Biden would just fucking curl up in the fetal position and Russia would be here. There would be no fighting back.
No, there would just be, hand the deed on over to China and say, come on
Here,
in.
here you go.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean the actual aspect of war, I don't anticipate. What I anticipate is I anticipate probably our infrastructure being disabled, water, power, those kinds of things, and then China saying we're gonna come in. Then basically they're just gonna walk right into our country and say we're here to help, and then they'll never leave. And
Hell,
right, exactly. So that is the scenario I see. I don't see a full blown war. A war might actually happen maybe in the beginning, but I don't think that China will let that shit last too long and they'll just fucking EMP our ass. That's what I think. That was my biggest concern because that was one of the things that was one of our biggest concerns when I was deployed was that one of these rogue nations was going to get to a point where we were just peaceful enough with them, but they were going to have a nuclear weapon on one of their tankers, and they were going to get close enough to the United States not to use a nuclear weapon to actually hit a city, but to
like an
explode it
airburst.
over the United States, about 200, 250 miles above the United States, and we go, our power goes out, and we just went back 150 years, and they just
And
fucking
then
walk right in.
not just that, but it begins infighting with everybody, right? Because we're trying to survive.
They don't even have to walk in; they can just wait one winter, and 90% of the country is estimated to have passed away after one winter because we're too soft and we have no idea how to survive. And so,
Yeah.
if the power were to go out indefinitely, that first winter, the numbers I have seen estimate 90% death. Think about that.
Is that crazy?
China doesn't
We
even
can't
have to
even
do
fucking
shit.
last. We
Nah,
can't
they
even
hit
last
that.
one fucking winter.
Nah, nah. All they have to do is launch an EMP on Halloween and wait till March, kid. That's all they have to do.
We
And then they're
came from some of the hardest motherfuckers. We fought an empire. Lasted how many harsh winters? Just to be a land full of pussies now. That can't go hunt. That can't get food without going to the grocery store.
No. Who don't know how the most basic things that we take for granted, once they're gone and they're gone forever, it is going to become extremely painful. People
Part of me
dying of
wants to see it, and part of me doesn't.
I don't know about wanting to see it. I think we have to go through it. That unfortunately, I'm at the point where I think we literally have to go through it so that we can come out on the other side stronger because of it. I think that we've gotten to the point where we are surrounded by entirely too weak of individuals who are entirely too self-centered, who don't even know how to begin to start thinking about helping other people or serving a cause that's bigger than themselves. So when you start off at that place of an all volunteer military and only 3 to 5% of our nation at any given time is actually serving or have served, in either capacity as a veteran or active military, you have to ask yourself, like, 95% of our country is literally enjoying the freedoms that we helped preserve, and at the same time we're looked at as the lowest common denominator and a problem to their existence because we tell dick and fart jokes and we don't fit in with society. You know what I mean? It just, we're less than human beings because you must not be smart enough to actually get a job. You had to go into the military. Okay, you want to compare ASVAB scores? You want to compare brain pans? You want to compare any number of things? If you want to go down that avenue that military people are stupid, I can break out my Mensa card right now. The belittling of the men and women who serve at the expense of a joke, at the expense of fucking social media goddamn cred, the gayest thing that's out there right now. What the fuck are you doing with your life? You know what I mean? That police officers need to be defunded, that we're not out there handing water to firefighters or walking up to a vet or helping a cop out or any number of things. We've gotten to a point where those who have put life and security and family at risk to ensure that everyone could, go to the grocery store and get their food without being accosted. Or, a woman can walk down the street at 9:00 at night and she doesn't have to have fear of, someone's going to assault her or anything because we have a safe city, or any number of things that go into making people feel safe and comfortable. Hard times create hard men, which creates soft times, which creates soft men. That's the cycle we're in. We have soft men, and we need a hard crisis to create hard men.
We do have some soft fucking men, don't we?
We do. We've got a lot of males walking around, and we don't have enough men. They are biologically male, but they exhibit zero.
Testosterone.
Right, exactly. They don't act like it at all, and they think it's cute. They think it's funny because it's popular right now. But I tell you what, I watch across the screen, and I see that shit. I decode it, and I'm like, okay, I could totally see through your soul right now, and you are not the hard ass that you claim to be. So, thank you for your time, and I'm no longer interested in anything you have to say.
I was on Reddit and I saw something. Some chick had posted. She's like, "Is anybody else ashamed that they find conservative men more attractive than liberal men, but they find themselves any liberal women out there find themselves more attracted to conservative men than liberal men because liberal men are pretty much this is me paraphrasing now, pussies. Liberal men are pussies." It's like, how bad does it have to be for your people with your same ideology don't even find you attractive enough as a male to procreate with you?
Yeah. Talking generalizations and those kinds of things, I think that, well, there have been polls I've seen that have shown that people find conservative women far more attractive than liberal women. And then,
well, that's a no-brainer. Look at the one that just ran in Colorado. And then look at Horsemouth AOC.
Well, there's that. But then,
okay, look at Michigan. Anybody from Michigan. And then look at the one from Georgia.
Well, Michigan, okay. The problem I have with, so we're talking stereotypes, and yes, the stereotype would be that the more masculine you outwardly are, or the more quote-unquote Neanderthal you appear to civilized society, you're conservative, which is weird.
Yeah.
And yet, if you're sophisticated and you're knowledgeable and you're worldly, then you're a liberal because everything's fantastic and we want unity and one world government and one religion and one monetary system because we're drones. No. That's not the dichotomy. Freedom, no freedom. You see, we hold life to be sacred. We don't hold life to be sacred. We hold people accountable for their own actions. We don't. We promote victimhood. We give people just enough to where they're able to build a fortune if they work hard and they want it more and they want it badly enough.
Mm-hmm.
You don't give me enough free shit. When you start breaking it down and you start looking at the brass tacks, I love a lot of my liberal friends. I have liberal family members. I love them dearly. As misguided as I believe that they are, I know for a fact the people I care about have good hearts. Where I have an issue is when I say, okay, if you're going to have a good heart, does it make sense to be okay with killing a baby moments before it was scheduled to be born because it's not outside the womb yet. These are discussions that are actually coming up. There are cases where babies are actually born, umbilical cord still attached, baby is taken care of outside of the womb. That's been going on in this country. Isn't
it fucking ridiculous?
It's rare. But that's the thing. We don't have any sanctity for life. We don't hold life in the highest regard. Correct. As a society, we're not doing that because we're shifting more towards a godless, less accountability sort of society. Whereas it's like we want to reward the female for having 15 kids from 13 different fathers where she doesn't even know where they're at. And we want to demonize an actual nuclear family that has deep-rooted moral values that are based around a religion that they have. You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
Yeah. Isn't it fucking crazy to you that a fucking single-cell microorganism on a comet is considered life? But the moment an egg is fertilized, it's not.
It's just cells.
The moment there's a heartbeat, it's still not considered life because it's not autonomous, or not necessarily autonomous, but
it can't live on its own outside the body.
Right. Yeah. It's that fucking crazy.
So they view it as a tumor at that point. Until it can live outside of the body, they view it as a tumor, just tissue that can be cut out. This is my problem. So if you have a society that doesn't value its life, if it doesn't value its young, and sure as shit doesn't value its old, look at Cuomo just throwing old people into COVID-infected,
Oh, bro,
hospitals.
He won fucking New York City Man of the Year or some shit like that, didn't
he? I think he got a Pulitzer Prize for his press conferences of the COVID.
His response to COVID.
Yeah. Of his media presence and the leadership he showed during the fucking during fucking COVID, as you had tens of thousands of fucking old people dying in a state. And guess what? Guess how those old people typically vote in New York? Oh, so you just deleted a huge section of your older presumably conservative voters, and you don't think anybody's gonna notice that shit? And he's talking about, at the same time all these old people were dying, he was talking about how New York was the example the rest of the country should follow.
Yeah, let's follow it.
Fucking idiot. And that's the thing too, is I don't get how the average voter who pulls the D card, even if they disagree with all the policies, Red Bull burp. Sorry.
Ew. Oh, I tasted that one. Sick, dude.
It almost came out my nose, but yeah. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. That's okay.
The average voter who pulls the D card.
Right, exactly. So let's say that you don't agree with all the policies. How are you still voting for a party that believes in those sorts of things? That believes that a nuclear family should be destroyed in favor of the government just literally giving you all the money you need.
Not even need. Because they're not meeting basic needs.
True. Well, yeah, because with the stimulus package, they were making more money off unemployment than they would have been had they stayed at their jobs.
It's fucking ridiculous, dude.
It is, dude. But see, that's the thing too. Is it's like, okay, so when you break it down and say, okay, well, what's the Democratic Party for? What's the Republican Party for? And when you start breaking those things down and you start looking at who stands for what, then you have to ask yourself, well, how can you stand with that who believe this? Well, a lot of it is just because they don't want to be those people over there. They want to be associated because society, the Democrat corporate media, has deemed anyone outside this bubble as deplorable. Or
deplorable. You saw that movie, The Hunt? or The Hunted?
I did.
The
Hunt.
Man,
The Hunt.
tell me
Yeah.
that wasn't fucking sick, dude.
That movie was a trip. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was not very great.
Tell me it wasn't sick though. It was like,
Oh no, it was.
because they said deplorable in there, and it's like,
And everybody who had caught was conservative, and everybody who was hunting them was
hunting
liberal.
was liberal, and it's like, that's what they think. It's like,
It is an us versus them mentality. They are no shit. If you pay attention closely, you'll recognize some of this shit. The rest of our veteran buddies can fucking verify this. They are literally changing hearts and minds like they would have in basic training to get you to dehumanize the enemy. So if you dehumanize the enemy, okay, then you have no problem, follow me here, with beating up Asians on the street, Jews on the street, randomly for no reason, old people on the street, any number of things. Okay, you start getting a rash of this shit, right? And then when you start asking yourself, well, what's the cause of all of this? Well, the cause of all of it is the craziness that is being pumped into the media by corporate liberals who are trying to control the narrative. We spent 18 months talking about how China was not responsible for creating COVID, only to find out 18 months later that, oh, no, it's kind of really it's
definitely man-made.
Yeah. That it can't even stick to bats. That we can't even get it. It was supposed to come from bats, but we can't get bats infected anymore.
To replicate? Yeah,
it's fucking stupid.
So
what do you do with that? And then you're like, well, but how do you reconcile that with someone who continues to vote that way and then continues to bitch that unemployment's too high, my gas is too high, this is too high, or any number of things are shitty? Well, who do you have to blame for that? You only have yourself to blame for that shit.
Yep.
And expecting different results but doing the exact same thing, that's insanity, dude. I mean, this Democrat will be better. Now, I'm not saying Republicans are the best, because quite obviously we have our own handful of bullshit con artists going on.
We just need a lot of this stuff, honestly, in my belief, can be solved with fucking term limits.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You get people in there for 8 years, do what they're fucking voted in to do, and if they don't, on to the next.
Not only that, they know they'll only be in there a maximum of 8 years, and that they have to go back to the society that they just created in those 8 years.
Yeah, so and we have to stop this fucking pay for life bullshit too.
Well, what they want is career. The Democrats want everybody to be a career politician so that they never have to go back to society and actually live by the rules that they've created. If we did term limits, a lot of the shit that's going on, to prove your point, would not be going on, because people would be thinking, actually in 2 years, I'm going to be home and I don't want to have to deal with that shit, or I don't want to have to pay those taxes, or that's going to affect me in 2 years negatively. So yeah, no, I'm going to vote no on it now. But when you're protected by a perpetual election, or by a job that is never going away because shit's just rigged, then yeah, you start doing stupid shit like giving Iran $1.5 billion in the middle of the night, or freeing 5 of the worst terrorist masterminds from Guantanamo Bay. The stupid shit that goes on. It's like, who
thought this was a good idea?
Right? Are there ever adults in the room when you guys are talking? This is what I don't understand. So if they're not just straight up retarded, which is quite real, possibility, especially given AOC and Maxine Waters and a couple other people who are there. They're just literally, every time they open their mouth, they're just proving the fact that rocks are smarter. They need career politicians. They cannot go back to the world that they created. They just simply can't do it. It's it is annoying. It is absolutely annoying. Can we pivot real quick? Because it's 9, and
all right.
I want to finish up on Loki.
On Loki.
Yeah. Did you have something you want to say?
I watched Loki.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you wanted to say something before we got into Loki.
Well, no, I was gonna bring up John Wick 4 next year,
Yes.
which I'm super fucking excited for.
Hell yeah.
You just told me about Snake Eyes today, which looks amazing. And Tomorrow War because I love me some Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Isn't that a crazy concept too? Bringing people from the past to fight a future war? Because honestly, if you think about it, we were just got done talking about how men are pussified these days. Who's gonna fight our wars?
Mm-hmm.
We would have to bring somebody back.
We'd have to go back to the Greatest Generation and be like, yeah, you're not going to D-Day, you're going to the future.
Yeah, you're going to fucking Pussy Day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not going to like how the country's turned out. So, yeah, be prepared for that because there's a whole lot of males walking around and not enough men.
Yeah. So yeah, Loki. Let's talk about Loki real quick.
So, what was your first impression from the opening sequence? They're going back. They're doing a little, reminding people of how he got into this situation. What did you think of that first part, that opening sequence?
I'm a big Loki fan, and whoever plays Loki, I don't know his name.
Tom Middleton
is fucking fantastic. But I think I'm going to be highly disappointed in this show.
Do you?
I honestly think I'm going to be highly disappointed with this show. And that's just because he's not doing as of yet, he's not doing Loki things.
Yes, and I noticed too, there were a couple scenes that he didn't seem into it. Like, he didn't seem Loki enough. You know what I'm saying? Like
when he was reviewing the footage with the dude, who's that guy? Owen Wilson. Wow. Where he's reviewing footage and he's just like, he's not very Loki.
Right. It just I don't know. Yeah. To your point, I noticed some things. What did you think of? Well, you mentioned Owen Wilson. What'd you think of what they're gonna do or what they could potentially do with his character?
I like Owen Wilson. I think his character could be something, but they have to reel in Loki and bring Loki back to be Loki because Owen Wilson has to be able to feed off of Loki.
Loki's bullshit. Oh, most certainly.
And this whole Time Bureau or whatever the fuck it's called. What the hell is it called? TWA? No.
TVA. Time Variance Agency or Time Variance Authority.
Is a whole new concept to me. Because it's never mentioned in any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Timekeepers are obviously part of the comic book universe, but it's never mentioned. So it's a whole new concept, and they're gonna have some explaining to do on why they let.
But that's the genius, because now we have a reason to have 22 movies. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it is to get to the last movie of this. You know what I mean? So they're creating more of a curiosity, because same with the Elementals, or is it the Elementals? Am I even saying that right? I don't know. But there's another Marvel movie coming out in this phase that I'm like, with Angelina Jolie and a couple other people, that I'm like, I don't even.
Jolie's gonna be in a Marvel movie?
Yeah. And they showed I obviously knew Hulk and Captain America and all, and there are some on the periphery that I sort of knew, but I was never into Marvel or DC comic books like that.
Like Doctor Strange?
Right. Knowing these characters, Guardians of the Galaxy.
The 1970s version of Doctor Strange?
No. Is it bad?
He was like a turban and all that. Like, you can't do that these days.
No.
You can't have a white actor with a turban.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. It's totally. Yeah. There's no way you could do that.
But we did not give a shit. Iron Man was just like somebody with like a refrigerator box on his head.
Yeah. It's horrible. But what's funny is that some of these other ones, like, there's a bunch that are coming out this this phase that I'd never even heard of. And so when you have that, like to your point, the TVA and all that stuff, there is a lot of explaining to do, which will then necessitate, at least in their theory, more movies and more interest moving forward. The problem is that we've already lived through 1 or 3 phases of Marvel, so we know that there are going to be some duds like Captain Marvel or Iron Man, or not Iron Man, but Ant-Man, which they were they weren't to the standard that other MCU movies had been.
What you mean Ant-Man wasn't to the standard, bro? That was the best one.
Ant-Man. Well, I thought the second one was better than the first one.
Paul Rudd is the man.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the movie, but what I'm saying is that when you think of like a Thor Ragnarok or Civil War or even Iron Man, it like the level that movie was at, it seems smaller. But it was supposed to be because it's a more intimate story about just these individuals that actually work on the periphery of the Avengers.
Yeah.
So it made sense, but there's one Ant-Man. Who the fuck is that? And why is there a movie? Like I was like, I don't get who that's supposed to be. But at the same time, I didn't. With Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, who are the? And I saw the first trailer and was like, and the music, I was like, what are they doing? They've totally. I see Ant-Man. I was pleasantly surprised by Ant-Man, but I still felt it was probably one of the weaker movies of all of them. But then I got to Guardians of the Galaxy and I was like blown away by like, this is like one of the most fun movies I've been to in a long time.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Well, that was the second one, but yeah, that was badass. He's like, you look like Mary Poppins. Is he cool?
Hell yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, man, he's cool. Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah, no.
That was awesome. But Guardians of the Galaxy is probably it's one of my favorite movies of that whole section.
Both of them.
Both of them.
And they're making a 3.
Yeah, that one I'm like, there's been a lot of stuff that's gone on in between 2 and 3 that.
And they're making Black Panther 2. Mm-hmm. Which, how are you going to make a Black Panther 2 with Chadwick Boseman dead?
I think there's going to be like a CGI aspect to it at first.
He made that movie.
Yeah, but they're going to transition to a female or a different black. I think his sister is going to pick up the mantle as Black Panther.
Mantis?
Yeah.
I'd much rather see his warrior girlfriend, who was the spy, as Black Panther than his sister.
Oh, the chick from Walking Dead?
No, the one that was the spy, who he was showing everything in the open at the end of the movie.
I don't remember.
It wasn't the Walking Dead chick. She plays that part great.
Yeah, she does.
And she does look good with a bald head. So if you're out there, hey, I'm working on wife number 3.
Hey.
I'll oil your head up. But yeah.
Little lotion up
top. I think it's going to be a disappointing sequel. More so than
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Godfather 3. Anyway,
Ghostbusters 2016.
I think it's going to be a disappointing sequel because Chadwick made that fucking movie.
He did, and I literally think, and I'm, I don't need any new friends, so I'm just going to say it. I thought the villain in Black Panther was the weakest part of the entire movie. What's his name? Michael
B. Jordan? I thought he was the best part of that movie.
Oh, I couldn't stand him in that movie. I couldn't.
What?
I was, nah. I think what bugged me is that they tried to get away from stereotypes, but ended up just totally stereotyping that.
So stereotyping him, yeah.
Right.
But you played that villain role like a champ.
There are aspects of it that, yeah.
They may have overdid it with the stereotypes.
He was, right. Yeah. There were a lot of over-the-top parts. There was a lot of aspects to it that, I don't know. It was one of those movies that, based off the reaction to it, I think maybe I was expecting more. But I wasn't necessarily surprised when it wasn't my favorite movie. But at the same time, I
Oh,
knew
you
it was
lost.
necessary for the overstore. Huh?
You lost a viewer. You said that.
Oh,
Damn.
well. I gotta go. Well, it's the East Coast, man. It's 11 o'clock. RC probably took off or whatever have you.
Yeah.
It's got work, dude. People got work tomorrow.
But Loki, I think, has potential because Loki was integral, and we're discovering even more so now with this show, right? That he was an integral part of how everything unfolded.
Mm-hmm. Unknowingly, which is cool.
Unknowing.
That's the thing that I was tripping out about is the you've been doing everything as we've according to plan, and Loki's like, what? Free will versus predestined.
What got me is
It's a mind trip.
the Avengers were all supposed to go back to get all the Infinity Stones. But Loki grabbing the Tesseract was not supposed to happen.
Nope.
It's like, okay, we'll see. But did you see the drawer when they pulled open the drawer and they had all those Infinity Stones in there? And you're like,
that sequence. I think from that point that point forward in Loki, I was leaning forward because that's when, to me, it really started to go deep because you could see the wheels turning in Loki's mind like, this has all been an illusion. Like, you could see, like, holy shit. It was starting to spark and stuff. And then when you get to the end and he's looking back at his past and all that stuff, he's having an emotional reaction. It was the Infinity Stone scene where I was like,
you should
this
throw
is
them
on
around like it's fucking junk in your drawer.
He's like, yeah, some people use them as paperweights. And Loki's like, we just literally lost half the universe. What the fuck? Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't even comprehend that shit.
Yeah.
And then he asks him, are you the ultimate power in the universe? And he's like, Olsen, that's where I liked Olsen Wilson, whereas he's kind of flippant, like, some people say that, or whatever his comment was. It was just like, but they are. They're like part of, not them, but they are working for the elementals or the
timekeepers.
The timekeepers, but who created the timekeepers? Remember, there was
I think they are the elementals.
The elementals created the timekeepers, but so that means that now we had the Infinity Stones. Holy crap! What a threat to the universe! Now we've been introduced to the TVA. Holy crap! Right? But then people created the TVA. So what's going on this level? So this is the cosmic aspect of it. I don't know if there'll be like a follow-on Marvel.
Well, they're gonna milk this.
Right, but I mean, as far as like a phase, like right now, I'm assuming we're supposed to get phase 4, phase 5, and phase 6. I don't know about 7, 8, 9 is my point. I think that once they go cosmic with this section of phases, and I could be wrong because again, I'm not a comic book nerd in that fashion. I don't know what happens after this. But I mean, where do you go after cosmic? You're just Avengers versus God or whoever the creator of the universe is in the Marvel. You know what I mean? That's the thing. The Avengers are going against those that created the universe.
They can effectively draw this out for 30 years.
Yeah. Well, by the time this section of phases is done, it will have been 30 years. Over 30 years.
So
think about that.
I'm just gonna give a shit when I'm fucking 70 years old. Who cares? Show me somebody as hot as Scarlett Johansson in a fucking leather one piece, and I'll be happy.
Yeah. It's not too much to ask, is it?
No. But I'm with Loki. I'm most excited about how he is going to be hunting himself and how that's going to turn out. Because I'm thinking there's going to be some kind of skip in the timeline where he ends up joining himself in the war against the TVA. And it's more excited to see.
Yeah, and I think there's like one of the things I was sort of spitballing after I watched it was that he could effectively yes, he'll be tracked, and they sort of set that up or whatever have you, but not doing like being more how it benefits him. Like this, any given situation benefits him. So he'll fix the timeline, but not fully. You know what I mean? Like, and then he'll
Right.
create other problems. So that, I mean, they could take this show on forever because it's something he did in season 1. Now in season 6, he's got to fix or something like that.
But they
But
won't.
but what I'm interested, like what you were saying, I'm interested to see past versions of people he already knows, people he's going to come in contact with, like his mom or somebody else that may have passed away or he hated or any number of things, but now he's got to work with. That dynamic of it, I think, could be pretty cool. But I'm curious as to who they're going to bring into the show because I don't
They can
think
bring
any.
anybody.
They could bring anybody, but I don't see them bringing like Robert Downey Jr.
Hemsworth.
or something. Right, exactly. It's not going to be, some big name that's going to
It'd
show up.
it'd have to be somebody who was close with. So I think Robert Downey Jr. is out.
Right.
The Guardians of the Galaxy could show up because Chris Pratt has done TV shows, right?
Right, but if it was like that, I could see it being the chick with the antenna and not Chris Pratt. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll bring her in for a TV show, but not Chris Pratt because it'll cost too much. They'll bring in some
But
other.
I think they would bring in Chris Pratt.
Do you?
I think they would.
Well, I think that
Chris
was
Pratt
a lot of.
well, if you think about it, Chris Pratt, I think when he invests himself into a franchise, he's fully invested. Money aside.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
So
I think because now that the show is showing, I mean, now that it's airing, I think that, and of course, I don't have my fingers in all the pies, but I think I would have heard if Chris Pratt. I think we would have heard. Not
oh
just
yeah,
me,
he
but I
might
think
not
we
be out
would-
in season 1,
Right.
but Chris Pratt. Mark my words. Today, June 13th, I said Chris Pratt will be on Loki.
Well, I'll tell you this: if it blows up like Mandalorian does, I can see stars going, "Yeah, I want to be in season 2." I can
But
see stars reaching out.
they've already bombed with one Marvel universe, which was
Mhm.
the WandaVision, right?
Well, and then they had Falcon and
Falcon
They had
and the Winter Soldier, which I thought was all right. As far as the TV show goes, I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is all right. I think making Anthony Mack the Captain America was the right choice
hmm
because they were leading up to it with all
Right.
the Avengers series.
hmm
And then with that little clip at the end where it says Captain America and the Winter Soldier, I think that kind of solidifies it. So he may be on this one, on Loki.
That's true.
And then I want to say Dave Bautista will probably make, because he wants to solidify himself as an actor.
Sure.
Let's see what you can do outside the comic book, because
I think
Loki isn't within the comic book realm, right? This is something that you really have free reign with. I mean,
I'm not sure if, and that again, I'm not that deep into the Marvel universe, but I'm not sure if this, like with WandaVision, there was a storyline that they were using, right? And I don't think they're doing that with this. I think that they're using aspects of what's already out there and combining them to then create a show that has the TVA and stuff. I think Loki interacted with all this stuff, but I don't think there's like a House of M timeline like there was with, or an House of M storyline that they're trying to, tell like they were in WandaVision. WandaVision was weird for me because I didn't quite know how to take it. As it was starting, I was trying to figure out what am I being told and where is this going? And then all of a sudden it's episode 8 and I'm like, that was it? So with everything that was going on, I almost feel bad for Marvel with the COVID thing because they had a plan. And the way they planned it, we were supposed to have movies right now. And WandaVision and right, exactly. And so we was it Doctor Strange 2 was already supposed to be out by now. Like a lot of stuff had happened that was supposed to come out last year that got pushed off. But because they had already entered into this thing with Disney Plus. They could only push off the shows so long once they were already done, because Disney Plus needs to make that cash. And so now they're putting out these 3 shows that unfortunately we're supposed to have a fucking movie somewhere in here to help explain and set up Loki much better than what it already has, which is disappointing because by the time Doctor Strange 2 comes out, I think we're going to be like, there's nothing new in here because we just saw 3 shows that explained the direction of where this is going.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
going to be interesting.
I like Loki. The reason I like Loki better than Falcon, the Falcon Winter Soldier. Falcon Winter Soldier, I got through about 3 episodes and it wasn't grabbing me, and so I have to go back and rewatch that. But with Loki and WandaVision, what I was hoping for WandaVision, I think will probably happen with Loki, which is to say that there's going to be much more lore opened up to where they're going to tell us this is what's going on and why, because we have to know because of the sort of quantum leap equation they're building here, is that if you do this, it'll affect this. And so we have to do these things in a measured order, and we can't just be going back through time and just messing with stuff.
And we've already been told that everything that the Avengers did leading up to Loki was supposed to happen.
Right. And so now this whole thing is on an alternate timeline. So Loki has never died. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, everything that happens after he picks up the Tesseract in Avengers Endgame, so going all the way back to the original Avengers movie in 2012, in that movie, as they're bringing out Loki from the elevator, everything that happens from that point forward, this Loki never experienced.
Oh shit, bro! You just blew my mind.
See what I'm saying? So, Thor 2, not Thor 2. Everything that happened after 2012.
What was it? Thor: Dark World?
That came out after the first Avengers movie. So yeah, everything after the Avengers movie, Loki has no knowledge of and never participated. This Loki in particular.
Iron Man dying?
Mm-hmm. Iron Man dying, his mom dying, his dad dying, all that stuff he had to be told the show, remember? Him dying.
Oh, yeah, you're right, because Thor never became the All-Seeing, right?
Right. All-Father.
Yeah, the All-Father. And he never got Stormbreaker, which, if you follow, not necessarily Nordic myth, but the comic book, Stormbreaker is the ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
This is a terrible fucking name for a weapon.
Yeah. What did Raccoon say? What did Rocket say? That's a bit much. I present to you Stormbreaker. That's a bit much. Whatever it's this big, dramatic, and Rocket just shits on it. That's a bit much.
But I fucking love Rocket. Rocket, he's probably one of my favorite Guardians of the Galaxy, other than Chris Pratt.
Yeah, definitely.
Gamora is too much.
Gamora.
She's a little extra.
I liked Gamora. I didn't like her in Endgame because she went back to the original Gamora. I liked how she sort of evolved and how she was much more softer in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think that, especially the dynamic between her and what's her nuts, her sister, the bald chick, the robot.
I'll rub her head too.
Yeah, she's cute in real life. The redhead, the girl who plays.
Yeah. What the hell was her name?
It doesn't matter.
Not important.
It's all good. It's all.
But
good.
yeah.
But the sister, yeah. So I enjoyed Gamora much more in the second one. I think in the first one,
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 Gamora, and not Endgame Gamora.
Yeah. Yeah, because when when they go to the alternate timeline and Thanos is still alive, and then the alive Gamora is there, she's reverted back to pre Guardians of the Galaxy, so she's still in that killer mindset. She hasn't been shown that Thanos is actually the greater threat to the universe. So that aspect of it. But yeah, if you go back and think about it, all the events after the moment, to include the Avengers winning against the Chitauri, the Battle of New York, he never sees. So he has the Tesseract and poof, he's gone. And every movie
So he doesn't know. Well, he knows who Thanos is.
Now he does, yeah. Yeah.
No, even with the Tesseract, because Thanos promised him, well, shit.
Oh, he knows who
Thanos promised him that army.
Yeah, he knows who Thanos is because he got the Tesseract from Thanos.
Yeah. But he doesn't know. Does he know Thanos' ultimate goal?
That I don't know. Probably. Probably doesn't give a shit either. He's a god.
Wimpy god. That's how I had to explain who Loki was to my daughter. Like, remember the guy fucking the Hulk was just
around like a fish? Puny god. Yeah. It's fantastic, dude.
Dude. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the show. I think the first episode was a little bit of a letdown. Right until they showed you the drawer of Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, what the fuck's happening?
Mm-hmm. But now go back.
Where is this going to go?
What I'm curious is go back and watch it now with your mind blown and see what you watch. See what you see, knowing that from that moment that he disappears with the Tesseract, which is in 2012, he is completely unaware of his influence and effect on what we know as the MCU.
And knowing he died.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he died now.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that going to affect?
And he knows who kills him. So he was in league with Thanos, and now he knows he's been betrayed by Thanos. Or he knows that he went to betray Thanos and that Thanos killed him. Correct. Yeah. So he knows that whole sequence.
Well, Loki, I don't know what. He's not a bad god. Not evil.
He's necessary.
He's
a chaos. Well, they explain it. He's the chaos that creates the best in other people. He is necessary to create the best in other people. It's the show.
So knowing he's a tool, because that's what he is.
And he thinks he's in charge of his own thoughts, and he doesn't realize that he's all he's a
footnote.
Yeah.
Because really, in Endgame, he dies in the first sequence.
Yeah. Not
to be seen again, right? Not even playing a major role.
No, he's dead.
The fucking Bifrost guy played a bigger role.
He dies. Yeah, no shit. Heimdall, something like that. The black guy, right? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. He Loki dies in the beginning of Infinity War. So he's not even there for Endgame.
Oh, you're right. Right before Thor is transported.
Right. So him and Loki and Black Widow died, and Vision died before the snap. That's why after the snap, none of them come back.
Yeah.
So, but that's the trip, dude. When you go back and you look like Loki, literally, that was the first and last movie that we were introduced to Loki. In Loki's universe that he is in now, before he goes to the TVA, he literally was trying to take over Earth. He got smacked down, and as they're arresting him towards the end of the movie, he disappears. Which means Thor never takes him back to Asgard, which means Dark World never happened, which means everything after that fucking movie, he has no idea the ramifications he's had on the universe. On Thor, on his dad, on his mom, on everybody else he's affected. He has no idea. So now we get to re-experience all that stuff through his perception.
Through his eyes. Yep.
Correct. As he's learning it for the very first time, but we're reliving it. Like time travel. We know what he's supposed to know. He just doesn't know it yet. So we will be excited when he knows what we finally know. It's backwards of the show, right? We're expecting the character to know what we know. It's a fucking mind trip, dude. I spent I spent like 2 hours on some sort of rabbit hole after Loki came out. I think it was Saturday night.
Wednesday.
No, it wasn't, huh?
Wednesday. It's a mid-week premiere.
It was Wednesday, so it was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday when the show came out, or Wednesday when the show came out. So it was Thursday night when I was watching it, and or I was going down this rabbit hole. And yeah, there's some theories out there, dude. There's some theories out there that will melt your nuts. And I was
I'm
like,
about to go down this rabbit hole, and I got to be a good thing I only work at 9.
oh, it is getting late. See, we get to chatting, dude. We just do this shit all day.
How do we go from comic books or movies, the fucking shitty Mangold guy, to fucking politics, to fucking Loki?
We're just good like that, dude. We can.
But it all goes together.
Of course it does, and that's the key thing. And not to put too fine a point on it, but that's the name of the show, bro. The Convergence. All of this shit is connected. And if it's in our everyday life, if it's how we're expected to treat everybody in society, it is going to affect our entertainment, whether it's sports, whether it's underwater basket weaving, all the way up to movies. The culture war is prevalent. It's here. And if you haven't chosen a side, you will have to do so shortly. Because this culture change, this culture war that they've created, it won't stop until people like you and me are either silenced or disappeared.
Yep.
And they're doing it now, especially with Mangold. Okay, we're going all the way back to the shit we were talking about 3 hours and 40 minutes ago. Was Mangold, right?
Yeah.
Mangold didn't like what that dude was saying, what Matt Kadish was saying, and he was like, shut up in color, and your studio sucks, and I'm going to belittle you. The fuck is wrong with that dude? But this is the society we live in. He disagreed with Mangold, so Mangold now has to destroy him or belittle him to such a point to where he feels bad about himself, gets an eating disorder, or goes off and commits suicide. This is the tactic of the left. Is to make you feel so bad about your deep-rooted moral beliefs that, I mean, think about that. I mean, the sanctity of life and all kinds of other things that traditionally conservatives believe in. Imagine trying to combat that, where you're telling people that that kind of lifestyle is actually wrong.
So are you saying Matt is Loki and Mangold is Thanos?
I'm saying Matt is Loki and Mangold is a wart on my ass.
Mangold is a hemorrhoid in your ass.
Yeah. He's the pimple on the hemorrhoid on the boil of my ass.
One of those big old festering ones that just doesn't even let you enjoy Taco Bell every Tuesday.
Nah, and it flares up every time you sit down. It oozes a little bit.
Aggravates the fuck out of you.
Can't sit
That's
still.
Mangold? Okay.
Mangold, yeah.
You fucking wart.
He's a splinter in your hemorrhoid.
You fucking boil. I hope you're watching and listening, you fucking piece of shit. You better deliver on Indiana Jones 5 because the way you acted, you were pretty much sealed that you were going to deliver with Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah, no shit.
So fucking deliver.
Yeah. This shit better knock my socks off, fucko. Because if
If
this
not,
is just
I'm calling for your retirement.
And when that shit comes out in a year, we're going to clown your ass. And don't think we're going to forget, because people are screenshotting this shit for the very next time Mangold opens his fucking mouth. And they're going to dogpile on his ass every single time.
If Indiana Jones is a flop, Mangold needs to retire. And give away all his money to Black Lives Matter.
Well, he needs to get the fuck off Twitter is what it comes down to. And them treating the fans like this, I don't know how much longer the fans are going to put up with it. I really don't. Because the numbers...
Well, there's so much better out there than your mainstream movies nowadays, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, the word has to get out there. The more people like us who are out there talking about it, you tell a friend to watch this, I tell a friend to watch this, and then some of their friends, maybe one of their friends is like, huh, I didn't know that. And it opens up that door. The more people who are talking, the more conversations that can start, the more discussions that can happen, the closer we can come together. The fact that we don't even want to talk to each other right now is the reason we're in the situation that we're in now. It's divisions. It's us versus them. It's that group over there versus us over here. We're the home team, and so we have to win at all costs.
So division's happening in Hollywood. It's happening in politics. It's happening in real life.
Mm-hmm. And that's the convergence, baby. Everything is connected. It is the point at which everything we want to be fun and everything that is not fun comes together. Our responsibilities versus our expectations versus what we want to do to relax. We can't even. It has gotten to the point where we can't enjoy our escapism because of
You're
what.
bringing all that shit in.
Right. So now, how do we unwind? If I can't watch sports, if I can't watch movies, if I can't watch TV, how do I unwind and get my mind right at the end of the day?
Well, if you're in Colorado,
Drugs and alcohol? Right. So again, what is that pushing society towards? You see what I'm saying? So it's like the weak will move towards that. The stronger willed individuals maybe fight it off a little bit longer or something. But that's the idea, is that they're not worried about me and you. We are lost causes. They're looking at our kids. They're looking at setting up a system to where our kids are okay with the fact that their kids are now wards of the state. That's where they're at. They're talking to our kids right now. They're not even talking to us anymore. We're lost causes.
can we segue into the next Purge movie, which is like honestly my third favorite franchise?
Hit it, bro. Let's
Because if you think about it, the forever, or what do they call it, the forever purge, uh, that's what we're building up towards. Honestly, people that don't give a fuck about what politicians have to say about your fucking wimpy ass society, going through and doing what the fuck they feel they have to do, what they enjoy doing because they've been oppressed this entire time.
Mm-hmm. It's a commentary.
I don't know how many people I've talked to and probably won't ever admit to this, saying that we need a fucking purge.
That's what I was saying earlier.
And
we might have to go through that.
And not necessarily, let's not be as dramatic as the purge, but something's got to give. And the purge is just a step. Not. It's an extreme of what needs to happen.
Correct.
Oh, did we get a comment that I can't see? Because I had it in the middle of my screen.
I was just checking something, and then I changed how our names look. But yeah, it obviously it's an extreme. But like we were talking about before, though, it's almost midnight on the East Coast, so people are dipping out. Plus, they got to go to work tomorrow. This is a late stream for most people. That's part of the issue of being in Colorado versus on the East Coast or something like that.
You're not my time, huh?
Yeah, I could just go for hours upon hours. But, dude, to wrap it up, I think that ultimately the us versus them will need to come to a head, or get very close to coming to the head to where it scares enough people off.
Mm-hmm.
Before there's going to be significant change. Because even though we think we're making change now, or making, progress as far as getting the word out, they're much more powerful. They're much more well-funded. And because we talk about Star Wars mostly, we're able to be marginalized a lot easier. Because, of course, as you well know, we're just a bunch of fucking nerds living in our mom's basement. So
I'm actually in my basement. Mom!
Hot Pockets are cold, Mom.
You mean leave me off, Mom?
I'm sorry. That what that reminded me of?
I hope it reminds you of Wedding Crashers, because that's what I'm talking about.
I don't like. Well, no. What it reminded me. Well, now that you think, That and Step Brothers. But I don't like Michael Rappaport. You know who he is?
Yeah, that fucking guy.
That yeah. So, but I will tell you the one video he has with that ugly cat. What the fuck is that? Hey ma, come out here. Look at this cat. There's a fucking. Oh my god. Have you seen that,
Yeah.
dude? That every time I see that, that shit cracks me up. Absolute. I lose it every single. Crazy ass cat, ma. It just moved. Oh god, ma. Oh, dude, when he's going off, dude, I fucking died.
But he's
Absolutely
such
died.
a piece of shit too.
Well, that's
But that video is fucking gold. I will
dude.
give
It goes
him
along with what we're saying. I loved Logan. I hated the Wolverine. I hope Indy 5 is great. I think Mangold is a cock. We can all get along, and I can separate your politics from your art, which is what I'm here for. I'm not here for you, dickhead. I'm here for your art. So give me the art that I'm paying for and keep your silly shit to your goddamn self because no one wants to fucking hear it.
What the
How about that, sweetie? You know what I'm saying? That's, jeez, it's not hard. You want me to buy your shit? Quit shitting in my mouth.
Ma!
I don't know. Hey, Ma! I need more hot pockets.
I gotta watch that before I go to bed, man.
I'm totally watching it before I go to bed. Not only that, but what fucking I gotta watch that scene in oh shit, what were we talking about earlier? Oh fuck. I'm gonna watch the replay. Meatloaf.
Wedding Crashers?
No, not that one. You were thinking about something else just now. No, what we were laughing about before. I don't know. See, this is my memory, dude. Too many hits to the head.
Tough, bro.
Short-term memory. Like, I'll remember that shit like in an hour. I'll go, oh yeah. But like right now, in short-term memory.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Who needs it? Fuck it, right? As long as I stay alive and don't, put a fucking cigarette in my eye or blow up something. But memory issues, dude.
So
there are people that I talk to. I'm like, fuck, I know your name, and I can't remember it right now. And I'm hoping to God someone around here goes, hey, Stephanie or Joe or something like that. And I'm like, oh, of course.
Never remember Stephanie or Joe. Nothing ever good came out of those names.
Stephanie and Joe?
Yeah.
Is that your ex-wife's name? Or one of them?
Hey, man, I love my ex-wife. I'm going to send her this podcast, and baby, I want you back. Come on.
At least for tonight. And tomorrow we'll talk. No?
She's a great woman. Heart of gold. Anyway. Let's wrap it up, bro. I gotta piss the shit and eat my In-N-Out.
Well, there you go. All right, brother. Well, cool. So, real quick, just so everybody knows, this is Chris. I'm 97 Bravo. Here's what we're doing. I am part of the Stack Up veteran stream team. So follow me on Twitch, and I will be doing great and wonderful things for the Stack Up military charity. Go to my Twitter, go to my YouTube, go to my website, 97bravo.com, spelled exactly how my name is right here, and you will see all my content, to include the great and wonderful things I'm doing with my good friends at Red 5 Network, as well as the great individuals I'm starting to work with at stackup.org. If you want to help the military charity bring awareness to PTSD and some of the issues that our service members face once they come home from doing great and wonderful things overseas, as well as suicide prevention. So if that's something that you're interested in, go to my Twitter page, go to my website, and you will find a link to my fundraiser page. And tomorrow I will be doing a stream in the morning for stackup.org. Stackup.org. I keep saying stock up, but it's stackup.org. I don't know what I'll be playing, but I'll be raising money tomorrow morning and most of this week. So jump on there. What do you got going on until the next time we talk there, Chris? Anything?
I'm just working. I'm going to try to catch up on some. I got to go rewatch the MCU now. And, America. Going to be supporting my country no matter what. Love it. Love my country. No matter how many pussies is in it, I love my country. I don't know, man. I'm probably going to be geeking up on some fan theory on Loki. Definitely going to be diving more into the Star Wars universe with this man-child or man, what is his name? Baby Gold, whatever his name is.
Mangold.
Yeah, that guy. That fuckface. I'm going to watch some more of his shit so I can criticize him.
There you go. Watch Logan, dude.
I'm going to watch Logan. I think that's on Disney Plus now, right?
No. I don't think there's any R movies on Disney Plus yet. They're gonna have the actually that's Fox. So I believe
Logan was Fox.
Yeah, Logan was Fox while they still had X-Men. It was before Marvel got the X-Men
Got it back.
Yeah, so that's why it was such a departure. I think that's why I liked it so much, was that it was just it felt out of the world. And it felt dystopian, and it felt in the future, and it felt removed from all the latex costumes that had come before it. And it was much more grounded and much more real. And Hugh Jackman, oh my God, dude. That dude in that movie.
Have you seen some of his photos? Like, you see all the ones where, like, Hugh Jackman's buff, but have you seen some of the, like, where his face is all... He's just a normal person?
Oh, totally. Totally. But as far as... I think this was his best Wolverine performance.
Yeah.
Absolutely, hands down. And it's his last, which makes it even more bittersweet, because at the very end, you're like, you feel it. You feel like, the movie at the very end.
This is what you do on your last one? Why didn't you do this on fucking Origins?
Well, you yeah. And you're like, oh my God, we're totally going to miss you. Like, this is how the movie leaves you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was very well done. They did everybody involved did a very good job.
Glad it ended, unlike Fast and Furious 12 or whatever the fuck they're going on.
Yeah, they're gonna go to Mars here soon. So,
like,
I mean, I don't get that. I don't get that franchise at all.
What are you gonna be playing tomorrow? I think you should play GTA 5. There is no GTA 5. It's supposed to be coming out. Wait, what's the newest GTA?
I think it's 5.
Is it 5?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You should play that. You do console, don't you?
I do both. It's just that my setup through my computer, I might be able to do it in the morning, but I have a bunch of stuff I have to do with the interface I use to do this through my games and stuff, where I have all the cool, I don't know if you've seen it on Twitch, the cool little shit that pops up, and there's interactive things.
There's only one person I've ever seen on Twitch.
I am? Well, hey. Welcome.
You and Belle Delphine, or whatever her name is, old Bathwater girl.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
She's a porn star now. Might as well.
Might as well. You know what I'm saying?
I'll make a porn if anybody's out there.
And on that note, we will wrap up the show and leave you wanting more of Chris for next time.
Wanting more.
I want to thank you for... Ooh, look out now. I want to thank you for stopping by, my friend.
Yes, no problem. Anytime.
Setting aside the time. You know, maybe we'll look at not next Sunday, but maybe the Sunday after that.
All right.
Next Sunday's.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll bone up on some fan theories and stuff.
Hell yeah, I look forward to it. Get on Twitter, dude. Get on Twitter.
I'll start at Twitter tomorrow.
There you go. Well, all right, everybody. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Let's go back through and give shout-outs to everybody who's in chat.
Showback, I appreciate you.
Hell yeah, dude. We got Showback. We got RC from the NYC. We got...
He wants me to wear less clothes next time, he said.
There you go. Show a little bit more skin.
Yeah, he said less is more.
Thank you, brother. The Sentinel showed up. And then, of course,
Sentinel, Showback, and always...
Podcast.
NYC.
NYC. My brother from a different mother. That's a perfect example of liberal you can love. That dude right there. Just saying. We talk about what we talk about and all that politics stuff. I see his stuff and he sees mine. We never comment on each other's political shit.
What's he talking about? No, that he doesn't want to see me without a shirt on? You're like the only one.
Yeah, no shit. All right. Well, again, thank you everybody for stopping by. Chris is going to be on Twitter. Look for him.
Yeah, I'll be on Twitter. My name, if it's not taken, There's going to be sea bacon, some kind of
69.
something in the middle, and then troll at the end. All right.
There you go.
Just going to be a troll.
Well, when you get on there, I'll retweet you so people will jump on and start following you. How's that
I
sound?
really have nothing to say during the day, but I bitch about old people, so we'll get it going.
Well, all you got to do is lurk and just learn shit all day long.
All right.
And that's the only thing. If you're gonna jump in the pool with the big kids and you're gonna be like, hey, wait a minute, inevitably somebody will be in there that will be like, well, actually,
Try
Twitter
not to get fired. I don't care.
Well, yeah, Twitter
Anything else, I don't care.
Well, there you go.
Don't get me fired. You can talk about my mama. You can talk about my kids. Just don't
lock down that account.
That shit could be public as fuck.
There you go.
Got to be a public troll. Sea Bacon, the public troll.
There you go.
Boom. Or the shirtless troll. I think Shellback wants me to shirtless troll. So
yeah, he's all about that shirtless stuff. But yeah, okay. So we got some stuff to look forward to for the week, which is outstanding. We got Loki on Wednesday. I don't know what else is coming out this week. Bad Batch is out if you want to watch that. There's a lot of trailers that are out. The Tomorrow War, Snake Eyes, Black Widow. There's all kinds of trailers out there. Get excited for movies.
You don't even need a trailer for John Wick 4 next May.
Yeah, don't even need it.
We're less than a year away of Matrix 4 and John Wick 4.
Yep, just show me where to buy the tickets. I'm already there. I'm there day one. Actually, we should go see it together. That'd be fun.
Live stream it?
Shit, yeah. From the theater, like little...
Those
like
GoPros?
The movies we used to get overseas?
Yeah, but we can't show the thing because it's pirated, so it has to be our faces. Me eating fucking handfuls of popcorn.
Well, that's true, yeah. And then we'll just have a mirror behind us so it shows the screen and, yeah.
Inadvertently, yeah.
We'll figure it out. But you know what would be funny is Amazon, okay? Through Amazon and on Twitch, we could do a watch party. So the two of us can be sitting here drinking while we're watching a fucking show and commenting on the show live.
Probably how we should watch Indiana Jones 5 so we can just fucking shit all over this movie.
Well, I'm thinking about doing that. I want to find a movie on Amazon that is appropriate that we could just clown to, because I think that would be or see for the when that's the movie. What the fuck? I almost had it.
Copland.
Something About Mary.
Oh.
When we were laughing about rewatching that shit on Amazon and or The Hangover or something like that, and just absolutely cutting up. I think that would be fun.
All right.
So cool deal. All right, brother. Well, again, thank you everybody for showing up in chat. I really appreciate you. Thank you again, sir, for showing up. I appreciate you very much. Everybody's cool. Love everybody. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for stopping by. Everybody who's still in chat, everybody who's still paying attention. We're sneaking up on 4 hours now. This is my longest Convergence stream. I just went 6.5 hours on Twitch the other day. So
what are you doing, man? What are you doing 6.5 hours on Twitch?
6.5 hours on Twitch, dude. I was playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So yeah.
You doing drugs?
Not right now. All right. And on that note, we will leave you until next time. Want more.
All right.
I'm 97 Bravo. This is Chris. Thank you for showing up. As always, be indomitable. And as you go through your week, you know what to do. Be cool. All right. We'll see you next time. Take care.